Good day, fine fellow friends. It's the band Down Here. We're here. Actually, it's Mark, Glenn, and I. It's November 2nd, and it's 5:15 Central Time. And we're sitting here. We decided to chat about a couple things that are going on in our lives and in Down Here. So we're in the mad frenzy of writing, continuing to write for this record, and we've actually found two producers that we're going to work with on this record. We're going to do 3 songs with a guy named Greg Collins, who mixed 3 songs on the last U2 record, probably the biggest thing that he's done.
Ooh, bragging rights.
We likey.
And then we're also producing 4 tracks with Greg Collins, and another 4 tracks with Mr. Mark Heimerman.
I think we're doing 5 with Greg.
5 with Greg? Okay.
Yeah.
And then Mark Heimerman, we're doing 3 or 4 with as well. And then we're actually going to self-produce 3 or 4 tracks as well. So
it'll be fun.
Between all of that, we should have a record, I think.
Yep.
And who knows, there might be some last-minute attempts at other things, but that's the way it's looking, and that's the way it's shaping right now.
The goal is May 9th right now, I think.
May 9th.
So we'll keep you up to date on that.
Mm-hmm. I'd also like to tell you guys about our brand new best friends, band called The Swift.
Oh, we love you.
We love you guys. We love them.
The Swift.
That's our song for The Swift. We've been on tour with them for a week and a half now, something like that. We got another week to go, just under that, a little less than a week. It's been a blast. They have great sense of humor, because that's the most important thing when you're hanging out with people. But another great band, The Swift. It's like a piano rock thing, and they've been around actually longer than we have, like 8 or 9 years or something like that, which I was really surprised to hear. And I was like, wow, someone's been around longer than we have. But no, we're a little envious of them because they got their own shuttle bus that they converted, and they've got like bunks in the back that they can sleep in, and so it's not really a problem for them to drive all night. We have to sit on or sleep on our van benches, and they get to sleep in real beds, kind of.
And we love it.
So
and,
you can all be sad for us as we travel around, play rock and roll, and hang out with our friends.
No, but they're great, and they actually travel with their wives, which is really cool too.
Yeah.
So they've got like their built-in support system and love system.
So go to theswift.com and check them out. That may come across weird, but
don't take that the wrong way. Come on.
Anyway, the other thing we want to tell you about is we are getting ready to launch our new website. We're going to do that before the album comes out, probably in January. So to help push that off, we've got an iPod Nano that we want to give away, and we're going to do that to people who will be eligible will be people who are on our email list. So if you're not on our email list, get on there as soon as you can, and we shall do a drawing, I guess, in January and choose a name, and that person will get a spiffy iPod Nano just for themselves.
It's an iPod Nano, people. Get excited.
Yeah.
Don't just sit there and listen.
Drawing.
We'll have
Eligibility drawing room. We don't edit this.
A random eligibility.
You're not going to edit my love system?
No, that's
You're going to leave it in there?
We're going to leave it in there.
Cool.
So, okay, that's it. We're going to end. This is going to be a short one. We're going to try and do short ones because that'll help us do them more often.
Yeah, guys.
And maybe we'll talk about something serious next time.
What do you say?
Well, welcome to another edition of the Downhere podcast. Today is Mark's birthday, November 16th.
Woo! Hey, hello! Woo! Hey, happy birthday! Happy birthday!
So, Mark, what have you been doing on your birthday? What's...
Working. We were in the studio this morning with our new producer. In
Yes,
case you
we
didn't
were.
know that, Glenn.
Yeah, I did know that because I was there.
Yeah. And what we did was we prepared the 4 first songs that we're going to record on the album. We worked on them just to get the form right so that when we go into the studio tomorrow and actually start recording, we know what we're doing, which is always a good thing.
Are you allowed saying which songs they are, or is that kind of a surprise?
We could say, but it's not really going to make any difference
yeah.
because nobody knows the titles to the
That's true.
music.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But Surrender was one of them. Is that correct?
That's
and
true.
we've played that
Yep.
at a couple shows, so
And
people know that.
some
one.
of you probably have heard that one. So
Yeah.
Work on that.
that's
So
cool.
we changed that one up a little bit, but not too much.
Mhm.
It's pretty close to the same.
You know, I didn't mention it's actually just Mark and Glenn and I, Jessica, here today. The other guys are out and about.
They're busy doing
their
their
stuff.
getting ready for
Getting
the
their
studio
things
tomorrow.
done.
Jason just bought a new house, so he's running around, still taking care of business there.
They're
going
painting
crazy.
today.
Mhm.
So.
And
yeah.
actually, Jason got locked in a Target yesterday.
Oh yeah, this is crazy. We had some crazy weather last night. What were we doing yesterday? Oh yeah, the
shoot.
photo shoot.
Oh, we had a
We'll talk
photo
about that
shoot
later.
yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, after the photo shoot, they had crazy tornado warnings all over the place, and actually a few touched down, and some homes were wrecked, unfortunately. But on our way home, the rain was just unbelievable, and lightning was something else. And we dropped off Jason at the Target store where he was meeting his wife, and right before we got there, his wife called and said, "Yeah, I'm locked in the store. They won't let us out because it's a tornado shelter, so they kept people in there just for safety.
I didn't think they could do that.
Force people to stay in the store."
Yeah. Weren't people leaving when we
Yeah,
got
there's a
there?
couple
Yeah,
people
there were.
running out the doors.
When we dropped off Jason, there were a few people leaving the store. I was like,
So
"Well,
maybe
that's,
it's a strong suggestion.
we
probably.
strongly suggest that."
But he-
Well, they were handing out chocolate too,
Yeah.
is what I heard.
He
so-
got free chocolate out of
I
the
mean, that
deal.
would get me to
It
stay.
was probably
That
the
would.
chocolate intolerant people who left,
That could be.
allergic to chocolate. You know.
Well, let's go back talk about the photo shoot. What time did you guys? Was that like an all day thing? Of course, I was there, but
Yeah.
for those who don't know,
It was. We what time did we? Oh, we met at 8. Is that right?
Yeah.
8 o'clock we met and we tried on some clothes. Basically, photo shoot's a pretty crazy thing. They had this girl went out and bought all sorts of clothing for us. We just gave her our sizes and she came back with a ton of stuff and we had to kind of pick which outfits. She had to come up with roughly I think 4 outfits for each of us for the photo shoot and so she just picked a bunch of clothes and we tried them on and decided what we liked. And so anyway, we did that for like the first hour. Then we went to our first location to do some shooting and we got some really cool stuff there. We might be able to have some behind the scenes previews eventually here on the site. But yeah, so that was that. We did a few locations there. Then we went to
that was
another.
in Franklin.
That was in
like right here in
Franklin.
Franklin.
Then we went up right into Nashville to another studio or with our.
It was kind of. Well, I picked up Jeremy's wife. Took her in. She was kind of feeling sick, so just trying to get her all better. And then we met the guys over at the warehouse. Or I guess it was a warehouse kind of thing. It was kind of freaky. Like it was in really weird part of Nashville.
It's in a
Kinda-
part of Nashville where you would expect to find a warehouse. It's called the warehouse, but when you walk in, it's like Alice in Wonderland type thing.
Are you talking
Oh,
about the
no,
first
the-
warehouse
no,
or
the
the
second-
second?
Oh, the
second-
other warehouse.
No, that
Okay, the
warehouse
other
is
one
like
actually-
really nice.
oh,
Like,
yeah.
really nice.
The second place was actually a warehouse.
The first warehouse we were in is like this souped up, expensive Led Zeppelin drum kit there, vintage guitars and amps everywhere.
Lots of
All
Beatles
over the walls.
memorabilia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the second warehouse was kind of,
It was a real warehouse.
It was just a photo studio, really.
yeah.
Yeah.
It
It was cool inside, but you had to go through like a chain link fence. And
yeah,
That's where there's like
kind of a sketchy part of town.
Dobermans
Climbed
running
through a
at
couple
us or something,
tunnels
yeah.
and
But they had made up these huge backdrops and backgrounds for the actual photo setups and
Which actually one of them looked really cool. They actually did a huge kind of rectangular shaped board that they painted brownish, maybe a little bit of maroon kind of in it, and then a whole bunch of little holes.
Mm-hmm.
And then they blasted light
through the back.
through the back.
yeah.
So it was really, really neat.
it was
picture.
awesome. They did a really great job, and I guess they don't use these backdrops for anybody else. That was just...
Yeah, they were pretty elaborate too. I was surprised. I was like, wow, you're really not going to use these again. But no, all in all, it was probably by far the best photo shoot we've done so far. And I can't wait for you guys to get to see those pictures eventually soon.
Yeah, we're excited.
Yeah, I think we're looking
We're looking pretty hot.
pretty stellar.
So tomorrow you guys go into the studio
Mm-hmm.
and start recording something. And then you guys will just be doing tomorrow and Friday.
Yeah.
We're recording 4 songs, the drums and the bass tracks for 4 songs in 2 days.
Is that
So-
pretty, I mean, is that pushing it, you think?
No, we
that's-
should be able to get,
Let's give them a bit of time so we
Yeah.
can work things out.
and there'll be long days too, like probably 12-hour days.
And these are the Mark Heimerman sessions.
And Mark
The next 2
Heimerman
days.
is actually the producer who produced, I think, all, if not most of the DC Talk stuff.
Yeah. So he's a lot of fun.
He's a lot of fun, real down-to-earth guy.
He's a northern boy too. He knows Jason's hometown area, so that's kind of fun to listen to
It's
them
kind
talk.
of random.
And random, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to fill everybody in on how that went in the next little
and I'll
bit.
be there taking a bunch of video footage, so hopefully we'll be able to
Video and
get
pictures.
that up online as soon as possible
Yes.
for you to see. So I think with that, happy birthday, Mark.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
You gonna do anything else for your birthday?
Really don't have specific plans tonight. I have a friend who is hoping to maybe take me out tonight. We'll see what happens with that.
I mean, I don't have a card or anything, but you know, it's always fun getting money for your birthday. So here's $5.
Oh, you hear that?
Happy birthday.
That's
to
the
you.
Yeah,
crinkle
it's
of
always fun to open birthday cards and get the money. It's only the,
The
money
green.
anyway. That
Go
you like,
go
so.
buy the blueberry cereal.
We were gonna stop by and get you
Frankenberry?
some at Kroger,
I don't know if we can
but
find
I
that
don't know
anywhere.
if it's.
Is it Frankenberry or blueberry that you like?
Frankenberry. I have actually never had blueberry.
Oh,
I like Frankenberry, but I don't know where to get it.
me neither.
I might have seen it at Walmart.
Maybe Walmart.
But Walmart has everything. So.
I like cereal, folks.
Buy
So,
Mark some cereal for his birthday. You
buy
can
Mark
ship
some
it
cereal.
to the address on our website, care of Mark Martel.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, it
Thanks
is.
for that plug.
It is.
We should have bought you had a little dessert last night. We should have bought that for you. We were watching the hockey game. Well, trying to watch the hockey game.
Yeah, trying.
Cool.
But with that, stay tuned. We'll hopefully be coming out with another podcast soon. Keep you updated on what we're doing, where we're at, and if not before Thanksgiving, have a great Thanksgiving, and we'll see you probably sometime before Christmas.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Hey, this is Jeremy, and I'm sitting here with Glenn and Mark in the Lewis's home, who are not home today, but they've kindly opened their door to us. We're here bringing another podcast to you. It is December 2nd, and we still have no snow here in Nashville, but they're actually calling for snow this weekend.
Really?
So,
Wow.
Yeah,
Jason's
it's gonna
prediction
be-
was right.
Jay, his knee must be hurting him again or something. He's got that weather thing happening. Anyway, we this week we've been home all week, and it's been pretty cool. We've been tracking, doing some self-producing stuff. So we started the record again. Talk about the record, boys. Where are we at?
We started the new record after a year and a half, it seems like, of talking about it and planning it. After finally getting the record contract done away with, we are now in the studio, and we've actually got 3 producers lined up, and one of those is actually ourselves. So
We're excited about
we're
that.
very excited about it. We've
Yeah.
actually never done that before, actually producing our own songs. So that's been fun so far. But we started out with a guy named Mark Heimerman, who is renowned for his work with DC Talk and Michael W. Smith.
And he's just a little plug for Mark too. He's got this cool worship CD thing that he did just as a side thing called Vapor. I don't even know. Can you get it online?
I don't think you can buy it yet. Yeah, it's just getting picked up by a label now. But
So anyway, keep your eyes out for the Vapor Worship Project.
And a third guy named Greg Collins, who is based out of Los Angeles. And we haven't actually worked with him yet, but that'll start next week.
But working with him makes us sound really cool
Yeah.
because he's worked for U2. He's flying in from LA and he's bringing an engineer down from New York City. So it makes it sound like we're big stuff.
We got a crazy budget for this one, man. I tell you.
It doesn't really get any more pro than that. But so far, it's been an awesome experience because I don't know what it is, but it just feels more natural than any other recording experience we've had before. I don't know. Maybe it's just the personalities or the experience or just the fact that we feel really prepared and we've got lots of songs to choose from, which is awesome.
I think that's probably the big part of it. And most of these songs we really haven't even played together yet. So we're learning the songs and really
fresh
kind
in
of
the studio.
putting them together in the studio while we're there. There's actually some pictures on the blog, aren't there? On the Down Here blog, some
Yep.
pictures from our studio time. And
There are pictures on the Down Here blog, and if you're listening to this, you probably already know about that, and you probably already know about the message board, but you can vote for some photo shoot pictures there too. So, one thing people have been asking me a lot, and probably all of us, is what is this new album going to sound like? Is it going to sound like more like So Much for Substitutes, or more like the first album? What do you guys kind of think so far?
I don't know. I think we're really finding our stride as far as defining what our sound is. It's been a little bit complicated, seeing as that we've got two strong writers in the band who have different musical influences, and so we've always, over the last 6 or 7 years, been trying to figure out what that sounds like. But I think
We're getting closer.
Yeah, I think we are. This album is going to be probably a little bit of both of our last two albums, but obviously more modern sounding, because today is not yesterday.
Nor is it 3 years ago.
Nor is it 3 years ago.
I think there's going to be probably some drums and some bass guitar and probably a little bit of electric guitars too.
Yeah.
Maybe some singing.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
bank on that probably.
A rap or two.
Couple
Rap.
raps.
Yeah, in French rap.
Je rappe en français.
Cool. So yeah, we're excited about that. And the photo shoot, there's just a lot of new stuff happening for us, which is exciting. It's going to bring a new element, fresh stuff for us. So, Christmas. Any guys, you want to talk about your Christmas plans?
I'm going home. I haven't been to Canada to visit my family for a year now, which has been way too long, and I've started actually dreaming about seeing my family, so I must
That's
really
cool.
miss them.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Well, I'm Sherry and Jonah. My family are flying down to Franklin on this coming week for the recording, and we're here till almost Christmas, and then we'll be back home for a little bit, and
Oh,
I'll
cool.
be gone for our New Year's Eve gig in Atlanta. So yeah, it's
And the Lavenders are going to come stay at my place. Me and my wife are going to host the Lavenders for a little bit, so she's excited about having a little kid running around that isn't ours yet. So that's
you don't have to
good.
be responsible for
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Although he might tear down your Christmas tree.
Well, we just put it up last night. I think Aaron's got some pretty strong words for him if the Christmas tree starts falling. So yeah, but that's pretty cool. And then we're headed up to Montana, to the land of.
Nice.
They've already had. They've had so much snow already that my father-in-law is looking to go out and buy a snowmobile so that they can get into town if it gets so
Holy cow.
drifty. Yeah, so it's going to be a very white Christmas. We're excited about that. And my parents are coming down too, so we'll get to hang out with them.
They're coming to Montana.
To Montana,
Nice.
yeah. So it'll be a big white family Montana Christmas. So,
Big family white Christmas,
yes.
not big white family.
Well, Montana is pretty big.
Big. Right, yes, okay.
Although you are
got
a
it.
big white family.
Yeah, we are a big white family. Yes. Yes. And before we get into any more trouble, the phone is ringing and we have got to go. So thanks for coming out. We'll see you next time.
Take care.
Well, good morning. It is just about noon here on, I've forgotten the date already, Wednesday, January the 11th, and you've got Jeremy and Glenn here.
Yo, yo.
We're at the studio right now, so you might hear some guitars being recorded in the background.
We're hoping you're going to hear some guitars recording in the background because that's why we decided to do it here, wasn't it?
Well, and we want the recording to continue, so yeah, we do want.
Yes, yeah, okay. Oh, I got you, yeah.
So anyway, Mark's amps are all right. Actually, they're not his, but they're all in a room right behind us. And so every once in a while, you should hear some clanging. Just recording a song called "Everything Will" right now at Tom Lonnie's studio. It's one of the songs that we're self-producing. So yeah, we're having a good time. We're a little rushed this week, but we're on schedule, so that is a great thing.
And we're nearing the end of the whole recording thing. We've only got 2 weeks left of actually tracking and overdubs, which basically means just hitting record and recording whatever you're doing, whether it's vocals or guitars or whatnot. And then we go into the mixing phase.
Yeah, did the absolutely last bass track today, so I'm finally done. You've got a few more things to do.
I've got a few shakers and tambourines and just like sprinkly stuff to put into, which we call percussion here in the industry, to record, and then we're just the fat lady will sing soon.
So we're looking
Not
forward
on
to
our
it.
record, but
Not on. Well, yeah, okay. So we've got a few mixes to listen to. Our Greg Collins, who we worked with in December, who's out in Los Angeles now, will be sending us mixes that we can listen to of the songs we worked on with him.
yes, correct.
And so, yeah, it's an exciting time for us. We have a show this weekend, which would be nice. We did one show on New Year's Eve, and we actually got to go to a football game.
Yeah, that was really cool. We played in Atlanta on New Year's Eve, and so my sister came down and say hi to Mark.
We're doing a
Mark
podcast here.
With the guitar.
Hey, podcast listeners!
Hey, you're supposed to be playing guitar so they could hear your recording guitar.
I just finished Yep.
Nice. All right, there it is, folks. Peach Bowl. Yeah, so we played in Atlanta on New Year's Eve, and the day before the Peach Bowl was in Atlanta, so we all got to go. Our promoter hooked us up with some tickets, and my sister was down from Canada, so this was her first college football experience. And it was it was a lot of fun.
I was ready to go after the first quarter, I gotta say.
So was the guy sitting behind us, but he was in a little
He had a
rougher
few
shape.
too many beers.
Yeah. We did leave after the third.
Yeah.
So
What do you think?
it was kind of a blowout. It was a blowout game, but it's just fun to be there and experience the whole college football atmosphere thing.
Madness.
It's a lot
It's
bigger
madness.
here, and they had 2,000 people on the
Field?
for the
The halftime show was cool. I liked that. I thought that was fun.
So yeah, it was good times.
I gotta say, my Canadian blood, when I got even back to Nashville, I really felt like I needed to go watch a Predators hockey game just to cleanse me.
Oh yes, okay. That's gonna make all our American friends much closer to us now.
What can we say? So, hey, we're giving away a Nano sometime here in the next week or two. We were going to give it away when the new website launched, but as things go, it's
In the website industry.
in the website industry. We're a little behind schedule, and that's we're just going back and forth with the company we're working with, trying to figure out a design, and we're picky, so it's taken a little bit of time, but we'll get there. We expect to see another art design today, and we'll try and decide what we want to do with that. So,
Well, and the timing may work out great because maybe the launch of the website will now coincide with the release of our first radio single.
well, that's true. Which should hopefully happen next month.
Yeah, next month, sometime in February. So we're working hard to get all these songs recorded so that we can pick which one we want for the first radio single, and then take it from there. Get the ball rolling.
Hey, speaking of singles, if you live in Canada, we released, or it's happening soon, or if it hasn't happened already, we recorded a song for a project for a guy named Wes King who lives in Nashville here, and we recorded one of his songs
Called Excavate.
and they're going to be releasing that to radio in Canada. So if you hear any Christian radio stations and you live in Canada, call them and ask them to play it. It's kind of cool. We totally redid it. It was this kind of really soft acoustic guitar thing before, and sort of notched it up to the rock and roll world. So
Which is where Downhere
we live.
exists.
That's where we live.
Yeah, that's
And
where we live in the rock and roll world.
Hey, the blog. Do you want to?
Hey, you need to check out our blog. We've been putting some posts during our time in the studio, kind of on off hours, and so Mark has a great post up there, the most recent one. And
Lots of pictures too. If you want to see what these studios look like, we're in. Right now, the computer that we're recording into is sitting on a ping pong table with a Pong Master on it that shoots out up to 90 balls a minute.
90 balls a minute, yeah. So look out, we dodge ping pong balls on our downtime. So
Pretty crazy stuff in these studios.
So anyway, yeah, go check the blog out. It's down here. You can get it from downhere.com, and we'd love to see your comments, and we'd sure appreciate your prayers as we're finishing up this record and getting the whole show on the road.
So tell your friends about our podcast, tell your friends about our blog, tell your friends about our website, and tell your friends about
Us.
because we like when you talk about us.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. All right. Well, we love you. And peace out.
Hey, this is Glenn, and
This is Mark.
and,
This is Dave.
and Jessica's in the driver's seat.
I'm
We're
here.
coming to you from the van on a 2-lane highway in Louisiana somewhere. And we just drove through the craziest hailstorm, windstorm, anything I've ever been in. I happened to open up my computer and press record as it was happening, at least as it was starting to wrap up. So it sounds pretty bad, but it's not quite as bad as it was. So anyway, take a listen to this. You think we should go now? Why?
It's the way weather works.
We can drive out of it. Yeah.
Our windshield is cracked. Now we're trying to leave because it's madness. That's got to be the craziest thing I've ever been in.
I was waiting for us to get lift off there. Whoa!
So yeah, I mean,
Wicked.
really,
We got a cracked windshield to prove it.
yeah.
But luckily we have no cracked heads, so that's
It
good.
was pretty scary. The whole passenger side of the van was being pelted with very large,
Grapefruit size. Yeah, it was at least grapefruit
Hail.
sizes.
pieces of hail, and we were all like cowering on the left side of the van underneath pillows and blankets so that we wouldn't get cut
Sprayed
by.
with shards of glass. Definitely not ashamed to admit I was scared. I was sitting right next to the windshield that shattered, so I got a pretty close-up view.
It was like
Well,
two.
cracked.
It was
Yeah.
like two
Right,
baseball
cracked.
teams full of pitchers just
Yeah,
pitching as hard as they could at the van, like 10 feet away.
yeah,
We,
pretty much.
we,
30 of them.
we haven't had a chance to get out and look, but there's got to be dents out there. I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Can you check it? Can you see any in that mirror? Are we looking okay?
I did notice one of the lights on the trailer is now out. That was on when we started this trip, so.
Oh, I wonder if that got bashed in. So yeah, that got the heart thumping a little bit on today's drive, and of all places, it happens in Louisiana.
Yeah.
And I guess they had tornadoes in New Orleans
A couple days
a
ago.
few days ago too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just like unbelievable.
Having a rough year down here. Wow.
So we're just on our way to play a convention for some college and seniors, high school students in Alexandria, I think it is, right?
Yeah. Baptist convention.
Yeah, should be a fun weekend.
Yeah. We're gonna, at least I am gonna try and pretend like the Super Bowl isn't on Sunday.
Oh
and
yeah.
Maybe watch it on Monday, because we'll be in the van again.
It should be okay though, because Louisiana doesn't care about football.
No, they never
Especially the
do anything with
Steelers.
football. They never have the Super Bowl in New Orleans or anything.
True. I mean, not.
Yeah.
So
But we still won't be playing any new songs really this weekend.
well, we
But,
might have time to practice something.
Yeah.
might.
This might be the weekend to get new songs.
Speaking of, you guys finished in the studio everything, right?
Done in the studio. 2 more songs.
Hooray.
Well, one song's being mixed as we speak right now, and then that's the last one.
That is the last one.
Yeah, the last song's being mixed today.
It needs to be the last one anyway.
That's what I like to call good news.
Yeah.
It is very good news. And actually, there's a version of a song called Surrender up on our MySpace page. If you want to go check that out, you can hear it now. We've seen some ideas for our new album cover, which are pretty cool and exciting.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're excited about this. It's
It's all coming together.
gonna be a lot of fun. So,
Yeah, guys.
anything else we got to talk about? I don't
times,
think so.
tunes.
We're alive, so
It's always a plus.
thank the Lord. That was a scary moment.
Yeah.
But
Life on the road.
that's life on the road. Hey, we have an iPod winner. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Christine Zander. I don't know if she's gotten back to us yet. She hasn't until Monday.
She's got a
Today's
couple
Friday.
days.
So Christine, if you're listening, you need to let us know. Otherwise, we're going to give it to
Otherwise,
somebody
I'm
else.
taking your iPod.
So until next time, we'll have some more news for you. There's some stuff coming up. So stay tuned. Hey, this is Glenn, and today's podcast is going to be a little bit different than usual. We spent April 1st through the 5th in pretty much in downtown Nashville with the Gospel Music Association Music Week. And what that entails is a whole bunch of interviews for us and a whole bunch of playing and just keeping real busy, which is a good thing for a band to do. So we were busy promoting our new album, and we had a couple of interviews with we had a lot of interviews with guys, but we recorded a couple so that you guys could sit in and listen. So we've got just a couple of pieces from 2 interviews. The first one is from a guy named Harco, and he's from the Netherlands. And that's the first time we've met him. And the second one is from Mike Rimmer, and we've been interviewed by him since the first time we went to GMA in Nashville, and we just have a real great time with him. And he's a guy from the UK, and he's a character, and we love him. So yeah, enjoy, and here's Downhere being interviewed.
I'm Harco Ploegman.
And you're from Holland?
From Holland.
Yeah, cool.
I'm writing.
What do you do? You write for a
I'm writing.
magazine, or?
I'm writing for a teen magazine called Habits Identity,
Okay.
and for
Hebes.
Habits.
Yes.
We are in a transition to change our name
Okay.
to Identity.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Cool.
So we are now calling it at this moment Habits Identity for a few more.
Soon to be identity.
Yes.
Soon to be identity.
Yes.
And do you have a website if people
And I,
want to go see
uh,
some stuff?
Yes. I'm writing for a Christian music magazine called ccmplanet.com.
Okay.
And I do the Dutch section of it.
Cool.
Cool.
And after your last visit, you fell a little bit off the radar.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what we say.
Okay. And now you're a little bit back,
Re-emerging.
emerging.
Yeah.
Can you tell the story of what happened?
Well, our relationship with Word came to an end after shortly after winning a Dove Award for one of our songs on the last album, and really feel like we had lots of encouragement to keep going, even though we didn't have a record deal anymore. But we continued to be on the road, continued touring even when we weren't signed to a label for a year and a half. Is that how long we went without being signed?
1 year.
1 year?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, we kept going, and but after having an album out for more than 2 years and not having a new radio single, the public starts to forget about you.
Yes.
And we started to see less and less shows. And we really knew that it was time for a new album, and so we started meeting with new record labels, taking meetings, and we saw lots of interest from a couple labels, but didn't work out. And there's a guy named John Mays who's been in the industry for I'd say 25 years and has been everywhere as far as in the CCM industry, and has a lot of wisdom, and he's been a really encouragement to us. Even before we were signed to a new label, he goes to our church, and Jason knows him really well. They've been in a small group together for quite a few years.
Okay.
And he just wanted to encourage us while we were looking for a new label, and kind of as we met with him one day, and kind of as an aside, when we were meeting with him, he said, "Hey, by the way, I just started with this brand new, really small label, and they seem to be like the perfect label that I've been looking for all these years." And we were like, "Oh yeah, okay, well, that's interesting," but we didn't really think much of it. And but we kept looking, and late after a while, we started feeling like maybe this Centricity thing could work out. And they seem really ministry oriented, which a lot of big labels will say that they're very ministry oriented, and sure they are, but there's much more machinery to the big labels,
yes.
and there's much more business that needs to be taken care of, And so there's a lot more of a bottom line, if you don't sell a lot of records, then they just can't keep you on, which is what happened with Word Records. But this new label, Centricity, it just seems to be a label that is able to think out of the box. They're able, just because of their situation being so small, they can take chances, and take more risks, which we're really excited about. Okay. Brand new label. They've got 3 artists, Centricity Records.
Yes. Who are they all?
Jamie Jam Goshen, Circle
Yes.
Slide, and us.
Okay.
Yep.
The funny thing is, in fact, you're back with Word.
Yes,
Yeah.
distribution.
Distribution.
Yeah, we always had a great relationship with Word distribution.
It's not a strange thing for you to.
No, it's actually really
No.
good because we have the same people working our album. So these people really got into our stuff and believed in us, and then we were gone. And they were actually disappointed.
Okay.
And then for us to be picked up by Word Distribution again, it's great because these guys are like, oh, good, now we can push them again. And even our distribution company that is in Europe, they were making sure, they said to us, okay, if you guys don't go with Word, make sure we're your distribution company in Europe because they've been working so hard for us,
Cool.
And so it's a good thing, really good thing. It's funny, but it's a good thing.
Great. And when you lost your record deal, how did you feel?
Well,
At one of the two.
We lost our record deal before we ever lost our record deal, if that makes sense. We lost the support for the record deal. So when we lost the record deal, actually we were actually very excited because it meant we were free to move on.
We were kind of
first.
expecting it.
And you were disappointed. What did you do with it this point?
We always have walked really lightly with expectations. We've never had huge expectations from a label. I don't know whether that was a manager's advice.
I think the temptation when you're signed to a big label is to expect that they're going to do everything for you, and because they've got all this money, well, it can't. If it goes wrong, then it's their fault,
Yeah.
But we're the ones who write the songs, and obviously people didn't respond to it, and you learn from that, and you just have to understand that if it's business.
My favourite Canadians are on the program right now. Welcome along.
Thank you, sir.
So just say hello and remind people who you are.
I'm Glenn, and I play the bass guitar.
I'm Jason, and sing and play guitar and piano.
I'm Mark. I sing and play guitar.
I'm Jeremy. I'm the drummer.
Because you got a new drummer, haven't you?
Yeah, we did. Finally.
That seems to be the rumor. Yeah, one with a lot less hair anyway. So.
That's from Wide-Eyed and Mystified, and that's from Downhere, who are my guests on the program today. So Wide-Eyed and Mystified, great album title. It rhymes.
It does rhyme.
That's right. Yeah.
Which is always a good thing.
That's all it takes.
When it comes to album titles, and also it's a bit intriguing.
Yes.
So you pulled that from the song.
Yes, no, but more importantly, it has the exact same amount of syllables as the last album title. But,
So down here, we're very into numerology.
the title is kind of taken from the song "The More," but it's you're always looking for a title that kind of sums up the theme as much as possible, and just being where we are in the band's history, we're with a brand new label, and kind of almost reintroducing ourselves to the public. And it's just kind of a statement of pretty much how we feel. We still we've been doing the GMA thing for 5 years in a row, and the temptation is to get obviously jaded and all that stuff. But we've really tried to remain stripped down to the basics. We try to remember why we do this in the first place, and the title points to the gospel, like the song "The More" does. And it's also saying, we still love this. We still want to be playing off any old stage, like we decided we would when we first had our first band meeting. We said, we really feel called to this, and still wide-eyed and bushy-tailed.
That would have been a good album title. Wide-eyed and bushy-tailed. Oh, you're supposed to be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Yeah,
that was the error.
that was the error.
Because a 70s artist, Andy Fairweather Lowe, had Wide-eyed and Legless was an album of his. So you're not the first person to ever be wide-eyed.
Oh,
that's cool.
Didn't think so.
So, mystified, is that because you just don't know where you are at the moment?
I guess I should have elaborated on the mystified. Well, I mean, I think being mystified has been a theme of ours from the beginning, since our first album. The first album was really all about the greatness of God and how we will never fully understand it. And I think that carries through in all of our music. There's a song on the album called Unbelievable, and it's really a song that is really just saying we're never going to have it all figured out, and we're just thankful that music exists, and we're always inviting people to keep writing songs because, the greatness of God is unsearchable.
So do you like the kind of mystical aspects of your faith?
I do like the aspects that we can't figure out. I think it kind of puts me in my place. It really shows me that I'm really small. And that's good for a rock star to remind himself of.
I'm wondering about you being a rock star. Today you're walking around and you kind of not shaven and you've got Clark Kent glasses on, and I wondered whether this was like your offstage alter ego.
And he's walking around with a camera like he's a photographer.
So I'm wondering whether you're just doing this to disguise the fact that you're kind of like fronting a rock band, and whether you disappear off in a phone box somewhere, you come out as lead singer.
You know what? I've tried to. I think we've all tried to shy away from the GMA look. There's the GMA hair going around, and especially. But no, I mean, I feel that I don't want to lean on our look. It's something that works for some bands.
Mark definitely has the split personality though for somebody who.
That's true.
You just kind of get to, if you just do an interview with him and he's soft spoken and quiet, and then he gets on stage and he is in control.
So he turns from being mild-mannered interviewee to super rock star.
Very much so.
And he scares people.
Yeah, I can understand that. So what's the GMA hair look this year then? Because I know I
think it's the same as last year actually.
What's that then?
I think it's the faux hawk.
Yeah, we're a little behind here.
Yeah. The full hawk.
Faux hawk.
Faux hawk.
Yeah.
Like the fake mohawk.
Oh right, in the I've seen a few of those.
Yeah. And kind of the long in the front and the spiky in the back.
Right,
Yeah.
that's it.
Because a few years ago, it was kind of shaved head and goatee beard.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I did that for a while. It didn't work for me very well.
You mentioned Unbelievable. Should we play that next? Anything else you want to say about the song?
Yeah, the song, it's kind of it was kind of cool in this last writing process. God gave me a grand piano. I was 100 years old, and the first moment I sat down on it was in my living room after the tuner had been done with it. I sat down, and the first words I said were dust. And I'm the third owner of this piano, and the lyric just kind of goes over. It's kind of like if the walls or if this piano could speak. It was in a church. This piano. Of all of the different praise that it had been involved in, and kind of a nostalgic trip through the legacy of worship and how we join. That our songs aren't necessarily original, that they don't originate with us, but they originate with the wonder of the gospel, and that it's actually kind of cool because it's tempting to be critical and overcritical of people's attempts and just young people's attempts to discover their faith through, sometimes cliche ways, but those words still hold a lot of meaning, and so it's kind of like a let go of that criticism and an invitation for people to write more songs because we can't have enough to express how big and awesome God's love is.
Before the break, I played Unbelievable from Downhere from Wide-Eyed and Mystified. I'm just trying to, while I was playing, I was just thinking, how can you be a third owner of a piano?
The third.
The third owner. Oh, I thought you meant
The third.
Okay, I thought you
Not
meant
a third
I
owner.
thought you owned a third of the
Upper register.
You had a whole song to think about that, man. You should have worked it out.
Because I was just thinking that maybe you just had it for 4 months of the year.
No. I am the third owner. Yeah.
That's all right. Thanks for clearing that up for me.
Yeah, thanks. What were we talking about? Dumb interviewers?
Yeah, dumb interviewers who've run out of battery.
Oh, no.
That's okay. I'm just waiting for it then. That is probably the dumbest question. I'm glad it was you.
Yeah, it's over.
So tell me about the period of time that you've had where you've been without a record label, because it's very easy to fixate on that issue and lose your artistic momentum. But you strike me as a band that kept working and kept writing. Would I be right?
Yeah, we definitely, for us, we're on the road a lot, and that's really where we live and exist. It's not sort of in the label world, and so we just kept doing what we've always done. We were independent for a year full time before we ever signed, and we've always had sort of do-it-yourself mentality, and the label was a godsend at the time, and we just really kind of trust in God. I think there's a temptation in life when adversity comes to, you can react to it two different ways. You can become bitter and have entitlement and think the world needs to cater to your whims and your wishes and dreams and aspirations, or you can believe that God is in control and that He ultimately has the final say, even in the mundane circumstances. And I think we sat down as a band and sort of made a choice to trust God with that period of time and His timing too, because it was a year before we signed to a new record label, and it was a long process. And in that process came a lot of songs about faith and just really trusting God. And it's really cool how He's used the time in our lives to kind of mix us together and really kind of formulate not only just the direction of what we're communicating, but just us as people as well.
So what is most exciting about what's awaiting you now then? And is it that you're just approaching things and you've got quite a lot of experience under your belt, and so you're not going to get quite so hurt this time around? That must be helpful.
We have good songs. I think these new songs we all love, and we think we've finally got there, with the songwriting. Jason and Mark really stepped it up for this newest album, and we're all really excited to be playing these new songs for everybody, and that's enough to keep going, So
I think the other thing too is the fact that we do get to reintroduce ourselves, and it's almost like we get to start with a clean slate, a new team, new people who are really excited about the new songs, which are just fantastic songs. And so to be able to, and we do have some experience and some time in the industry and been able to develop some relationships, and so I think just this new season, there's a real exciting freshness, wide-eyed approach to it.
And also a real peace in the experiences that we've had, that coming from the experiences that we've had, just maturing and being in a different spot in life with a new label. It's like we're starting over, but we know more. We know what to expect now, and we can just rest in the fact that God knows what He's doing. I know I used to say that 5 years ago, but I think I believe it more now. And
GMA's been really freeing this year. We've played a bunch of times, and I just feel like I don't care as much now, because no matter what we do, we can't make our song hit on the radio. We can't make our show go well. This stuff will just happen. We have no control over it anyway, so we just have to do the best with what we have.
And head off and be wide-eyed and mystified.
Yeah.
Let's finish off playing Stir, and down here, thanks for coming to the program. It's great to catch up with you.
Thanks, Mike. There you have it. Some information about what's been going on with us for the last couple of years, and some info about the new album, and behind-the-scenes look into GMA 2006. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you next time.
My name is Glenn, and you are listening to the Downhere audio podcast. Over the next 5 episodes, you will hear a recap of each day we spent in Morocco between May 2nd and 8th. These episodes were recorded using a small handheld voice recorder, so you may notice the audio quality being a little less than usual. We had quite an eventful trip and have lots to share with you, so enjoy day 1 from Marrakesh, Morocco.
Good day. Welcome to the very first of the Morocco series podcasts. I'm sitting in the back of a van. This is Glenn right now. Next to me is
Dave. Bonjour. And I'm Jeremy.
And Mark's in front of me. We might chip in if we bug him enough. So we'll try and give you a taste of what we've done sort of each day. So yesterday we flew most of the day to get here, but kind of hard to figure out what the day was really, eh?
The first thing we did was take a carriage ride through the old city of Marrakesh, which is pretty cool.
That was after how many hours of flying? Well, we left New York around 7:30 or something.
But we left Toronto before that.
We left Toronto before that. So anyway, most of us didn't get a night's sleep. We got here and slept for a couple hours, and then we did this carriage ride for, how long did that last? 45 minutes?
Yeah, about less than an hour, so 45 minutes.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
Tell me about the carriage ride that we enjoyed yesterday.
Well,
what'd you see?
it was more about what I smelled. There were some definite smells going on there, and I have to probably attribute it to the horses. But
there's a lot of like pollution, like cars.
There's a lot of exhaust in the city. Much more. I noticed it, and I commented. I noticed. They don't have the emissions controls here. I made a comment about it to Jason, and he was like, "Really? I haven't noticed, but I don't know. Maybe I'm more sensitive to smoke and that kind of stuff. It was getting to me. It was giving me a headache."
Same with you notice more cigarette smoke around here than home, I guess, because that's kind of disappearing now.
Yeah, the worst part was at the terminal in Casablanca. People, it was a smoking terminal. It was like an ashtray, living in an ashtray. It smelled great. But no, the carriage ride was cool. I don't know. I think the highlight though was after that we went. 4 of us went and walked through the city of Marrakesh, just exploring, and went through a little marketplace and got asked to have tea with one of the vendors, which is a really traditional thing they do here. They love one of the things they love to do is sit and have tea and just talk. So we got to talk with. We didn't even get his name.
He never did tell us his name. The thing that was weird is that normally it's mint tea that we get.
Right.
This was just like sugar tea.
Like really sweet tea. It had nothing on Nashville tea. Nashville tea had nothing on this tea. It was so sweet. It was very, 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 very sweet. Yeah, the walk through the town was better. I enjoyed more than the carriage ride, because the carriage ride, it's like you're kind of floating above the culture, and just kind of observing.
It was a good overview for first arriving, though, really.
It's true. It helped just to kind of get a feel for the town. But just actually walking around and interacting with the vendors.
Monkey.
We have sighted our first monkey. First monkey sighting in Africa, and that guy definitely has a monkey on his back. There literally was a monkey on his back.
Hey, speaking of things we've seen, I think I've already seen 2 guys today peeing in public.
It's a very common
And yesterday
thing.
we had 2, so maybe we can see a 3rd and get a new record today.
Yeah. Public washrooms, I guess, just haven't reached this far east.
No, they're just very public, that's all.
Yes. That's true. Maybe the public washrooms are much more public. Ah, that's a good way of looking at it.
And Jer, how's your afternoon yesterday?
It's great. It was really kind of laid back. We kind of, Aaron, my wife and I, just kind of dozed in and out and got up and had some food at the hotel there, and it was pretty good relaxing. We were pretty beat yesterday still from the traveling, and so trying to plan our sleep time so that our body clocks would not be totally messed up, and I think we did well. We went to bed last night and slept hard through till this morning, and we're feeling good about today, so.
Yes, that's good. Yeah, so this guy we had tea with, we didn't really finish talking about him, but while we were walking, we found this cool market area and thought we'd stop in there, and this guy was, he said he was one parent was Berber, one parent was nomad. So he was half Berber, half nomad, which it's hard to describe really, but I thought they were the same thing.
No, well, a Berber is a nomad, but a nomad is just...
He described he said there were 4 tribes, and he said nomad was one of these tribes.
Yeah.
So he has a bunch of different shops set up throughout Morocco that he uses and sells that, and he had like...
Chain shops.
Yeah, it's a chain.
But he's from Algeria originally,
oh, really?
and he came here and he was setting up shop for 25 days, and then he was going to go home. But he had worked with Ridley Scott, the director, on the Gladiator movie, building set pieces and stuff for the shoot. So he's a really interesting guy. Talked to him for quite a while.
A lot of cool stuff he made, mirrors and bracelets and necklaces and very ornate.
And stuff to put your weed in. Yeah.
He did make stuff to put your weed in. What else did he have there? He had that camel cartilage.
Camel kneecap, basically. Yeah. And I think it was just like 2 camel kneecaps that kind of come together, and they're each one is bowl shaped, and they kind of fit together to make like a container that stinks really bad. It smells like camel meat.
Mark's got the most sensitive nostrils of the band, I think, so that one really was repulsive for him.
Repulsive. I didn't actually put my nose in. I just smelled my hands after handling it. It was disgusting. Yes.
So we did our best to try and find some internet last night, and that was a slight failure. So we haven't been able to really keep up with family at home, but maybe we'll do better today. So anyway, that was the end of day 1, and we'll check in with you at the end of this day and give you a new podcast. Thanks for listening. See ya.
Bonsoir.
Hi, my name is Glenn, and you are listening to the Downhere audio podcast. Over the next 5 episodes, you will hear a recap of each day we spent in Morocco between May 2nd and 8th. These episodes were recorded using a small handheld voice recorder, so you may notice the audio quality being a little less than usual. We had quite an eventful trip and have lots to share with you, so enjoy day 2 from Marrakesh, Morocco.
Okay, you got the whole band here at the table. We're having lunch out beside the pool. It's a beautiful day, about 24 or 5 degrees Celsius, which would be what, 70 something?
Times 2 is 50, 30, 80.
Anyway, it's nice. We just want to tell you about what happened on our second day in Morocco, because it was ridiculous, for starters. Camel.
Yeah, camel. We started out meeting up with Mustafa, who has been our fantastic guide this week. And
Mustafa's like the Moroccan version of Steve Irwin.
Yeah, he's always
A little less charismatic, I think.
But he's always got the baseball hat and the vest on, no matter what function he's at. It's awesome.
But he's not interested in drawing attention to himself.
He's very suave.
Yes. Very good, very service-oriented. Steve Irwin's just about selling the show, I think. So anyway, Mustafa took us on a camel ride. We each got to ride our own camel, and it was awesome. I had the camel that was upset the whole time, and so he would do these. I mean, you may have heard Glenn burp, and he can burp pretty good, but this camel, it sounded like a 10-second burp, and just spit flying everywhere, and he spit on Joy Williams, and he spit on Nate and almost got Joy. He was an experience.
Mm-hmm. And your camel's tongue. He just kept sticking his tongue out doing weird things, so the guy pulling your camel grabbed the tongue and he yanked it. It was about a foot outside of the camel's mouth.
Yeah, he had quite a special relationship with my camel. It was cool. We just kind of went for a half-an-hour ride and we crossed a busy street and then went into like a sort of a garden / fieldy area. It's a herd of sheep with shepherds. It just kind of takes you back a couple thousand years, and it was really neat.
Then we had how long of a break? Like an hour?
Yeah, because I slept for half of it.
Came back to our hotel, had a slight break, and then we went on a very treacherous drive for, how long did that last? An hour and a half?
Hour and a half.
Plus a half hour walking at the end, roughly.
Yeah.
The entire trip up the side of the mountain was very treacherous. Imagine sort of Wild Coyote sort of atmosphere, less the Wild Coyote, and but the same sort of style roads and
switchbacks with like 1,000-foot drops and
big. You talking about Wile E. Coyote?
Wile E. Coyote. What did I say?
Yeah, Wild Coyote.
Wild. Wiley.
Whatever. The guy from the cartoon.
Very steep precipices, 1,000-foot, 2,000-foot drops, and very scary because we're in this sort of high-riding Jeep. And Bob Thompson and his wife Nancy were with us, and friends of ours. And Bob was sitting in a seat that had a pretty good view of the edge, and
there's no guardrail, so
no guardrail.
You just look out the window and there's no edge of the road.
And some places seemed like there was about less than a foot of grace for the vehicle.
Yeah, definitely. But it was a great experience because we lived through it, and where it took us was amazing too. This Berber village up in halfway up the side of a mountain called Nej Mountain, which I think is the highest precipice in North Africa, and we were greeted by an orange blossom just facial wash with treated olives and goat's milk and some dates. Oh, it was dates and goat's milk. That's what it was. And to a traditional Berber sort of welcome, and
these drums and
hand drums that really reminded me of like the Irish bodhrans, the same sort of style.
Here we are at the top of our climb. We were just walking for how long would you say?
0.38 miles.
There you go.
Yeah, about 20 minutes.
And I just want you to hear some of the music that welcomed us at the top of the hill. Here it is.
We were treated to like the most unbelievable view and sort of snack, olive oil and
lots of warm pita bread
and honey and marmalade and jam. Very
caramelized nuts that you'd buy for a pretty penny at a fair or something.
Oh yeah, yes, absolutely. And the view, you're surrounded by these cloud-covered mountains. It's just beautiful, and they sang for us for quite a while, and then we pulled out our guitars, and Glenn pulled out his trumpet, and
actually, we can stop here and people can take a listen. So here, just take a listen to this. That was crazy.
That was just unbelievably moving.
It's kind of difficult to find a chord to play along with some of the songs they had there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They don't really have the same ideas about harmony as they do in the
west, I guess.
Either that or it's so developed in microtonal where we just can't hear it with our Western ears.
That could be.
I'm sure kind of the Berber people are like the original Moroccans kind of thing. Like they were here before the Arabs even came in, and anybody kind of did the takeover thing. So they don't even speak Arabic, do they? They have their own dialects and their own...
Three different dialects.
There you go. They're kind of the mountain people now. They stay up there, and really neat people.
The Berber sense of hospitality is very, very
formal.
But it's very, it's just very welcome. I was out in the market today, and this Berber guy, brought me into his shop, and it's been our experience with Berbers so far that they just sit you down and want to give you tea and talk, and it's real fun.
The village was something else too. I don't even know how to describe the village, but it's almost like it felt like it was made out of clay walls, almost like a ride at Disney World or something. We're walking up these stairs between narrow walls, and we've got a donkey carrying Jason's guitar and my horn, and it's hard to describe.
There's all sorts of different doors, metal doors kind of thing, but behind each door, one door could lead to a stable where there's a horse or a donkey eating, and the next door could be a chicken coop, and the next door could be somebody's living room, and you just never knew what was behind the doors.
And some doors led to a precipice that you didn't want to walk on.
But I think, that experience, I think, is going to probably be one of the highlights, if not the highlight of the trip for me.
We climbed 5,000 feet. So from our hotel was at 1,500 feet, and the top of where we sang was at 6,600 feet. So
Jeremy had his GPS unit, and we tracked sort of where we were. It'll be interesting to overlay that on a map when we get home.
Actually, we can probably put it on Google Earth and put it up on the...
That's a good idea. Google Earth. Yeah, you could see the town right from there. That'd be
really cool.
If they've got that far in Google Earth.
I'm sure they pay a lot of attention on the satellite cameras to the Berber villages.
The Berber village, it's like a maze. It's like you reminded me of like a termite maze, just how everything was put together, just sort of layer upon layer, almost like
every generation added a room or something.
Added a hallway or a room or a wall or something. It's very, very strange and just fascinating.
Somehow they had running water at the top. I couldn't figure that out. The bathroom, the toilet was a hole in the floor, so it's good to be a man at that point.
It was fun seeing the electric meters on the sides of the mud houses too.
Yeah, seemed out of place, didn't it? Well, anyway, after that we did the drive all over again, and actually the driver in the other vehicle, this cracked me up because he had to stop after kind of the worst part of driving.
Have a smoke.
And have a smoke break. I think he got real tense. I think that van was actually singing hymns on the way up. They were so freaked out.
That's probably what was making him nervous.
We rode camels. We visited this Berber village. Then after that, we actually had supper with the president of the region of Marrakesh. And that room that we had supper in was just incredible, wasn't it? A fountain into the floor.
Yeah. It just looked like one of those, so many scenes we've experienced look like something out of an Indiana Jones movie. Especially that whole day was just like a lesson in extremes. It was just like the poorest village in the area, and then that evening we were having dinner at a really posh, extravagant, lavish
with all the politicians of the area,
with the president and
the press. And
I felt like I walked into a real version of like Prince of Arabia or something. It was like very strange when the door just kind of swung open. There was rose petals coating the floor, and the fragrance, like
each woman got a rose as they came in.
Each woman got a rose as they came in. The fragrance of sort of that olive oil, orange blossom, cinnamon, cumin, all sort of mixed together, and cigarette smoke. And then you walk into this room that's just so grand, and mosaics coating absolutely everything, like a 50-foot ceiling with these, big pillars and rose petals everywhere, and a fountain in the middle of the room. I really felt like I had just taken it. As I stood there, I was honestly like, it hit me as fear almost. It was like so overpoweringly
just weird. When I was standing there, it was odd. I felt like I was leaning over. It's the same feeling of leaning over like a really tall building and imagining looking down. That's how odd I was. Like, whoa, it's crazy. I enjoyed that night. I really enjoyed spending the time with the people at our table. We had, there was just me and one other guy who spoke English. His name's Bill, and he's one of the festival organizers. And then we had a table of about 6 or 8 Moroccans who spoke a little bit of French, barely any English, and lots of Arabic. So we had a lot of fun trying to communicate with them, and they were really interested in talking to us and learning more about our culture. And one guy in particular was a little bit frustrated with the fact that he couldn't learn our language or didn't know enough of it, because he really wanted to talk through things. So it was a lot of fun. And you guys,
Aaron and I and Mark.
Everybody else.
Yeah, I guess everybody else except
They left me on my own.
We sat at a table with a woman who, let's see, in 2004, she was one of 25 women nominated for Woman of the Year in Morocco. Just a fascinating lady, and we just had a great conversation. She started up kind of not an orphanage, but like an adoption program where basically she takes kids off the street and tries to find a family to take them in, and started a private school, and it's grown to 2 private schools, and just a really neat lady. Well, her children are, one lives in Paris, one lives in New York, and the other lives in, I don't even remember where. Just all are very well traveled, very internationally savvy, and kind of know. And I guess that's one thing that struck me about Mustafa too, our guide, was how well he knows the jokes or the innuendos of the culture, of a culture that's not his.
Yeah.
He knew of the crocodile hunter.
He did.
And he knew of Crocodile Dundee too. I mean, he knows his stuff.
The people here have really been warm, and they said that before we came, and it's kind of hard to really get how warm they are. But that night was excellent, and throughout the day it was just a really cool thing. Like we were saying, lying in bed that night was just too much to process what happened that day. Camel riding and Berber village and dinner with the president, and yeah, it's pretty strange.
That was only day 2.
So that was day 2, and we'll have day 3 for you coming up. Just hang in there another day and you'll get it. Thanks for listening.
Hi, my name is Glenn, and you are listening to the Downhere audio podcast. Over the next 5 episodes, you will hear a recap of each day we spent in Morocco between May 2nd and 8th. These episodes were recorded using a small handheld voice recorder, so you may notice the audio quality being a little less than usual. We had quite an eventful trip and have lots to share with you, so enjoy Day 3 from Marrakesh, Morocco.
So, Day 3 in Morocco, and it was a little less hectic than we expected, huh?
Yeah, Day 3, we were supposed to go, so, it's kind of, you're on Moroccan time when you're here, so just expect everything to change every day, and super flexible. So we were supposed to go, load in and kind of sound check. We played today, but it just didn't happen quite as we were expecting, so instead we had the morning to kind of chill out and get packed up. We switched hotels today too. Went from probably a 1-star or 2-star at the most hotel to
probably the nicest one in Marrakesh.
Oh, it was a gorgeous, gorgeous hotel, and so that was kind of fun, kind of nice. And then
I got to tell you, before we switched hotels, Dave and I went and rented a couple of bikes and went for a spin. This is Glenn, by the way. We got Glenn and Jeremy on this podcast. And we just thought it'd be fun to go for a bike ride. We had about an hour, so we went and found the guys who rent the bikes, and the system here is all about bartering. So,
which I'm not very good at.
and depending on where you're at, they'll give you good deals, but sometimes they won't. So it's kind of tough to figure out how it'll work. Either way, he gave us a price for a couple of bikes, and we got him down to about 35 or 40% of his original offer, which was kind of fun. You got to sort of give him the offer and then walk away, and then if he comes after you, you know you got a deal. So we went for an hour-long bike ride, and we'll get pictures up. The streets here.
How did he know you were coming back with his bikes? Did you have to leave him something?
No, but he said if we were late, then we had to pay the original price.
So you could really just leave with his bikes. Were they pretty crappy? You wouldn't want to leave with them?
Yeah, they had shocks.
They had shocks?
They're mountain bikes.
Yeah, that's a pretty snazzy bike.
They're kind of in rough shape, but either way. But the traffic here is brutal. There's motorcycles, bicycles, horses.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Buses, and I think I probably inhaled more exhaust on that day than I have in the last year of my life. So anyway, so that was a good time. And then from there we headed over to
Soundcheck. Yeah.
Soundcheck, yeah.
Packed all our bags, moved everything to Soundcheck, and
what a great stage setup these guys have.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting that in Morocco.
No, it was, as you can see from the pictures on the website, it was just an unbelievable light show and just the whole trussing setup. In fact, the guy who's the lighting director and designed everything, he lived in, I think, California somewhere for a couple years and worked there. And yeah, I've actually talked to a number of people who have lived in the States for 2-3 years who were originally from Morocco and have just come back. They've just wanted to come back, come home to Marrakesh. Back to the sun, they said.
I thought there was lots of sun in California.
Yeah, well.
Then in the evening we did the show, and we were kind of flanked before us and after us by a couple of pretty good Moroccan bands that the crowd seemed to know, and so I think right around the time we played, we had some of the biggest crowd there for the night, and they estimated 30.
Yeah, they figured about 30,000 people, and it's really kind of a different setup because the security is unlike any you will see at a festival in America. There's army personnel placed all around the perimeter. Then there's police kind of placed all around the perimeter as well. And then there are secret police guys in these purple jumpsuits.
It's not very secret, I always thought.
Not terribly, I guess, but maybe they're just not as noticeable. I don't know. It's pretty crazy, though.
It was crazy. Playing for that many people in Morocco. Mark did an awesome job. Being the only band that can speak French, Mark just took control of the audience, and they just jumped right to attention right away when he started talking. I don't think they were expecting it at all.
Yeah, they really loved it, and Mark did a bang-up job just communicating, and I was very proud of Mark, and the set went great. I mean, it was a fun set. We're kind of the rock and roll representation here at this festival, and so we rocked.
And with that, we'll call that the end of the Day 3 podcast. Stick around, and Day 4 podcast will be coming up.
Hi, my name is Glenn, and you are listening to the Downhere audio podcast. Over the next 5 episodes, you will hear a recap of each day we spent in Morocco between May 2nd and 8th. These episodes were recorded using a small handheld voice recorder, so you may notice the audio quality being a little less than usual. We had quite an eventful trip and have lots to share with you, so enjoy Day 4 from Marrakesh, Morocco.
Welcome to the recap of Day 4 of our Morocco trip. We are a little behind here, so we're sitting in the airplane actually flying home now. But I just want to tell you about Day 4 and how that went. We actually didn't have any shows to play that day, so we had some time off to chill out at the hotel and visit the Medina. So maybe Mark
means middle of town, right?
That makes sense to me. I don't know. Is it French?
And no, it's not French, but it's basically the big market in the middle of town, and it's run by people called the souks, who come in during the day, every day, to sell their stuff. And I
think the shops are called the souks.
The shops are called the souks?
Yeah. The people are not called the souks.
No, they're not. What are the people called? Moroccans. Moroccans and Berbers. Yeah, well, whoever has stuff to come and sell, and to barter, and you try to get the best price. And there's all sorts of exciting things like black cobras running around, snake charmers, people just basically wanting your money for any reason whatsoever, even if you look at them and take a picture. They want some money. Monkeys. Can't forget the monkeys.
If you've seen like Raiders of the Lost Ark, that's what it feels like.
Very much so.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Now, Jay, you had fun in there.
I spent like a good 4 hours the first morning, and I decided I'd just try to get lost, and it didn't take me long. I had no idea where I was. I was in the annals of the Medina, which is...
It's a maze.
It's an unbelievable maze. It's like being... it's impossible to explain, but there's...
A labyrinth, if you will.
A labyrinth of wares and people vying for your attention and for your money. And I had a blast. I went back and I found this little shop where this old guy had he's got a collection of just sort of random stuff that old. A lot of it was older, you could tell, it was dust covered and quite old. And anyway, so I bought a lantern from this guy. We started our negotiations, they call it, at 1,500 dirhams. And I walked away, which is about 15... Yeah, actually, that's about, what is that? That's $150, right?
1,000, yeah.
No, 1,500. And I paid $150 at the very end. I had to walk away 3 times, and he said, no, you come back. Let's talk a good price.
You got him down from $150 to $15.
To $15, yeah. So, which I think is a good idea. And, it's probably a $15 lamp, so whatever.
So lots of deals to be had down there. The other thing about Saturday, I think the night before was the night when Dave started feeling ill, and he just sort of checked out that day and spent the day in bed with not feeling well. But anyway, yeah, I guess the Medina, that night actually was a cool thing. Jason, Marca, and I went down to the Medina for supper. In the evening, there's this big, they refer to it as a big square, but what's the real name? Do you remember what it's called?
Place Jamal El Fna.
And it's actually the largest outdoor restaurant sort of venue on the planet. And there's been pictures of it in National Geographic and stuff like that. And there'll be a picture of us. That's probably the picture we'll use, hey?
Yeah.
We'll set up the iPhone. So yeah, just a smoke-filled, you basically just point and say, I want this, I want that, and they hook it up for you.
The crazy thing, though, is when you walk in and start looking at, you can't really look at the food there and make a decision because you've got guys on you right away, just like, hey, eat at our place, we have this and this and this, and we'll look after you. So after walking around for about 5 or 7 minutes, it's just like, these are all very similar. Let's just go back to the guy who gave us the smile at the beginning, and that's where we ate. But it's just a bunch of hanging lights outside. Like Jason said, a ton of smoke because it's like a giant cookout, really. Barbecues going everywhere, and it's a really, really cool sort of festive atmosphere in there. It's a lot of fun.
Very fun. By the way, if you hear we're in a jet right now. We're flying over the Atlantic Ocean presently, and that's the sound you're hearing.
According to the map, we're just south of Newfoundland, Canada.
I'd say
which is exciting.
1,000 miles.
Yeah, pretty far. But anyway, I think that pretty much wraps up. Did anything else happen that night?
I stayed up late with Jeremy and his wife, and Bob Thompson and his wife were the people who invited us. to have drinks and hors d'oeuvres with the president of the Marrakesh region, the mayor of Marrakesh, the owner of the hotel we were staying at, which incidentally is supposedly the nicest hotel in Morocco. And the best part was that there was a magician sitting next to me doing coin tricks the whole time. So it was very, very surreal, very dreamlike.
It really took the mark.
And the amazing thing about that day, or was it that day? That wasn't the day that we went to the
this is what happens when you do the podcast a little late. No, that was
right.
2 days
anyway,
before.
In the span of 3 days, we got to witness the full, every tier of society in that country, just the poorest of the poor to the richest of the rich, and it was just...
That reminds me, when we had dinner in the Medina together, we all were finishing our meals, and we had chicken scraps on our plate, maybe a few extra vegetables we didn't eat or something, and this lady just came up and just kind of looked at us and then grabbed them all in her hand and put them in a plastic bag, and so we found whatever other food that looked more safe and edible to give her so that she'd have some more food. But yeah, it's quite a stretch range of people who have from poor to rich there, and we didn't get to experience it all. But I think that pretty much wraps up what day 4 was, Saturday. And yeah, we'll catch you next time with day 5, which we'll probably be sitting in the same seats recording in a few minutes.
Hi, my name is Glenn, and you are listening to the Downhere audio podcast. Over the next 5 episodes, you will hear a recap of each day we spent in Morocco between May 2nd and 8th. These episodes were recorded using a small handheld voice recorder, so you may notice the audio quality being a little less than usual. We had quite an eventful trip and have lots to share with you. So, enjoy day 5 from Marrakesh, Morocco.
Yes, we are still on the plane because it's a long flight, and now we're recording the recap of day 5 in Morocco. And day 5 was Sunday, and that was the day we played our second show, or played the festival for the second time. And we haven't really talked about this yet, but what happened basically that day? I know I got up early and took off to the Medina for a little bit, but I'd caught, or I don't know if I caught it, but I got what Dave had, and I was not feeling good. So I was in there for about 10 minutes and just walked back. So I didn't get to see as much of it as I'd like, but you guys slept in a little bit, I think, didn't you?
I basically didn't do anything. I needed a day to rest until...
Did you get to the pool?
Not even.
Well,
I went to the Medina in the morning, and then I came back for lunch, and then met up with Dave, who was feeling a little better at that point. So we went to the Medina and sort of scattered out the Medina. On Sunday, we kind of found the border. I had been to some places that I hadn't been before in the Medina, and just kind of did the border of the Medina. And then I think Dave was still not, he's kind of having a digression, so we kind of headed it back. And then the Sunday evening was the last night of the concert and the festival, and a very, very strange thing happened to me. I was hanging around after the show. It was during Jackie Valeska's set, and we did play actually that Sunday as well, right? Yeah. And we had an amazing show. I felt like we did better than the first night. We
definitely.
It's
a lot more relaxed because we've been immersed in the culture.
And we had a better sound check, I think, which was very helpful. Anyway, after the show, I'm out just sort of meeting some people and just very weird, strange, random events led me to some Canadian guy. Recognized that I was a Canadian guy because I had said A, and he was like, "Hey, you're Canadian, blah, blah, blah." And he was with a missions team in Northern Africa. They had just started out, and he said, "So where are you from?" I said, "Well, I'm from Brantford, Ontario." He said, "Oh, Brantford, I'm from Hamilton." And I was like, "Oh, weird." And I said, "Actually, I'm from Burford." He's like, "Burford?" And then another guy walked up and said, "Oh, where's Burford?" And I said, I was like, well, actually, really, my dad pastors a church in Harley, which is even smaller. And one of the guys says, really, we know a guy from Harley. Okay, backdrop to the story is my brother and sister married a brother and sister. In the family of the Oniferchucks, there's 4 people and 4 kids, and one of them is named Nathan. He was in the crowd last night, and we hung out for a while. So crazy.
He didn't know we were going to be there?
Didn't know. Well, I think he found out that afternoon type thing. But he didn't know he was going to be there when he headed out on the missions trip, and I definitely didn't know he was going to be there, and it was a random meeting, To put it in context, there's probably 80 to 90,000 people there. So to have that happen was completely random.
Yeah, that's totally random. They ended up saying, I think the official number for the whole weekend was 220. Is that what you guys heard?
Yeah.
220,000 people stopped by the festival at some point throughout the whole weekend. So it was
last year was 160 or something.
Yeah, last year was like 85 or something. It was a huge increase. So it was quite a success for Marrakesh, and we haven't talked really about the security much, but the security at that place was unbelievable. They had cops, they had army guys, they had the Secret Service there, and I think, Jay, did you catch something?
Yeah, was there fights or something?
What's going on? I think down front there's some people sort of westernized starting mosh pits, and there's Secret Service guys hired by the Moroccan government that were out in the crowd, wearing these jumpsuits, and they took them back behind the stage, and corporal punishment in the Islamic world is not, it's not frowned upon, and it definitely witnessed some of that. And it's funny, when I was down on the floor on Sunday night, I witnessed some as well of the jumpsuit guys just keeping an eye on things, and there were a lot of them. There was a ton of them out on the field and making their rounds too. Kind of going through people and keeping an eye on everybody, keeping an eye on the situation. So, and then then there's another 25 armed guard, guys in green that were there, and then the police as well. There's a ton of security, but I guess it wasn't as much as last year because there was even more last year.
And I know before we went, I kind of wondered what our safety was going to be like before we got there, but once we got there, it feels like a really safe. Like, I didn't feel worried about walking around at night in the streets on my own, even. Like
the mayor the President Duma was telling us that compared to the States, you will feel walking at night, you will feel safer in Marrakesh than you would in New York City.
And I think that's true, and we walked around in the crowd with absolutely, occasional people just sort of saying, hey, great job, but other than that, it was, an American, we couldn't do that at an American festival. We'd be, hunted down and, or whatever. So that was nice. That was really nice.
It was nice. So anything else? That's pretty much the end of the show. We're on our way back now. It's the next day, and our flight was delayed 2 hours, so that's going to mess up a bunch of connections, but we'll get home and we'll rest and get caught up before we head to the West Coast for the release week. So we can't wait for that to happen. We're excited about that, and we'll check in with you after that happens, I guess. All right, thanks for listening.
Shukran for listening.
Good morning or evening or whatever it is from Denmark.
Depends what time zone you're in.
The
evening of the parent.
We're a little delirious, but that's okay. It's what time is it? 10 to 3.
Go this way.
This was faster. 10 to 3 in the morning, and
we're catching the sunrise.
Yeah, the sun is still up kind of here. The last night it was dark from about 2 to 4, was it then? Or 12? I don't know.
It was quite bright at 4.
Yeah, it doesn't really get dark here very much this time of year. But we're at a house. We just got some showers, and we have about a 10-minute walk back to the camping area at the festival where Jeremy,
myself, Glenn, and Dave stayed. So we can... Well, Dave and Jeremy have to leave, what, in an hour and a half?
Hour and a half, yeah.
So they're good.
4:30 a.m.
Yeah. So they're going to be fried. Mark and I have a couple extra hours before we leave. But I just wanted to tell you about the last, I guess, couple of weeks, what it's been since we've had a chance to do a podcast. But yeah, this started out in...
We've been a few places since then. A couple.
Since Morocco, yeah. Since Morocco, we've been to the west coast of the U.S., did a few days in Alabama, and now we're in Denmark. But we got a break coming up. But I'll let Jeremy tell you about our west coast time. How about it? Does that work?
Sure, yeah, West Coast. So
Jeremy's sleepy, if you can't tell. That's
yeah, sorry about the big sigh there. I'll try and sound spunky here for you. West Coast. We went out, started up in Washington, and the goal was to release our CD, Wide-Eyed and Mystified, the new CD that you all own now, out on the West Coast. So we started up in the Seattle area and just basically worked our way down the coast, finishing up at Spirit West Coast, Monterey in the San Diego area. So it was a fun trip. It was a really busy trip. Our record label did a great job of arranging all sorts of radio station visits and retail store visits and just all the stuff that you need to do to kind of remind people that we're still out there and you know, looking forward to playing some new music. And so it was really busy. The one highlight on the trip, well,
there's a few.
Yeah, there were a few highlights. The one highlight that I was going to mention.
Transportation.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going. Thank you. Who's doing this part of the podcast? That's what I thought.
That's me, right?
That's Dave, yeah.
Oh, Dave, right, okay. Transportation. So we rented an RV for the first time on this trip. And so it was kind of fun to be able to, you know, stand up and lie down completely and pee. Yeah, peeing was a good thing to be able to do, you know, on the road. We didn't have to make nearly as many pee stops. The one downside was that Erin, my wife, and I somehow kind of got the short end of the stick most of the time and ended up being in the bed in the back, which...
it's pretty rough having your wife on the road and having to share a bed in an RV, isn't it?
Yeah, it's horrible. Well, it was great. Yeah, well, I wasn't going for sympathy from you.
Your wife last
The great thing... Yeah. Yes. So the great thing was... Oh, no, the not so great thing was that the bed in the back was like basically a spring-loaded bed. So the Californian roads are not terribly smooth to begin with, and then we would just get launched on that thing every bump you hit. So the guys actually had fun watching us bounce around back there.
Yeah. Spent a lot of time on the ceiling, I think.
They had some good bounces. So Spirit West Coast down in... Delmar. It's near San Diego. It's gorgeous. The weather was really nice. Dave and Mark and I actually had a chance to try surfing for one afternoon, which was a blast. But the undertow was really strong and the waves were coming in quick, so it was a little bit tough. But, you know, we're beginners, except for Dave. He's a seasoned Californian pro.
So seasoned that I took a board to the face and I still got a welt to my eye. But other than that, it was great.
So from Del Mar, we flew to Nashville, had a short night there, and then we spent 5 days in Alabama with Student Life. Outside of Talladega. Where
you NASCAR fans know where that's at.
Yeah, and here's the big deal. There's no stinking Verizon cell phone service there, so we were just left with our computers. All we could do is chat and try and figure out the hotel phone, which was sketchy at best, even. But we were there for 5 days.
Yeah, they turn the hotel phones off when there's a thunderstorm outside. Like, how ridiculous is that? I'm trying to talk to my wife, and the phone just dies.
Hey, safety first, Jer. Safety first.
So that was a little bit rough, but hey, we can't complain. Student life treats us so well, and we had a great time with
lots of great
everybody there. Yeah, we did. We had played some ultimate frisbee, and what else did we do there? It was good. It's good fun. And now we're here, and this is the end. We're just, like I said, we're walking back, and we're all pretty fried, and
we should tell them about Denmark.
Ready to get home. We should tell you a little more about Denmark. Dave, I'll let you talk about Denmark.
Denmark. It's cold here, and it's June. It's probably, I don't know, what, the 50s, 50 degrees right now, and it was a little bit damp and rainy when we got here, but it cleared up today for our show, which was really good show. Played in a tent where there was about anywhere between 2,800 to 3,000 people in this little tent in the middle of nowhere in Denmark, and I think they responded really well and really enjoyed the show. Kind of reminded me a lot of our show in Sweden.
Yeah,
I think they were really appreciative and kind of jumping around, screaming in between songs, chanting.
And they sing along with everything.
Yeah, they really liked Beautiful Day because the U2 songs, I think they all knew that one. But yeah, it was really cool to see. They actually really got into the worship stuff too. We did a worship set, and
we did one of the longest sets we've probably ever done.
Yeah, it's about a 2-hour show, I think, which is pretty cool. So they all were really enjoying it.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yes.
One cool thing was we had, I think we weren't able to bring CDs, but the distributor here had them and sold out of the Wide-Eyed and Mystified, which is I think 115 copies was all they brought. So we sold out of those and sold a whole bunch of the other two as well. So it's pretty good.
It was a good night.
Very good night.
Had by all. Had by the Danes.
So hopefully we'll get back here sometime, and thank you to everybody who has been, who we've seen over the last couple of weeks. We had a real great release tour, and until next time, I guess we have about a week and a half off, and then we'll be back on the road and connect with you again.
We'll be sleeping for the next week and a half, so
hibernation. Yeah.
But thanks for listening, and we'll catch you later. Bye. Today's podcast is going to be taking place at WYLV, right?
This is it, man.
Say hello.
Hello.
This is Jonathan Unthank.
You got it like you're unthankful.
And Jonathan right now is moving sliders and pushing buttons, and
yeah, you want to move that one? Well, no, wait, news is getting ready to happen. You may not want to do that one.
So we're in Knoxville, Tennessee right now, and we're just getting ready to do a radio interview with Jonathan, who's an old friend. We've been here twice, 3 times before.
Yeah.
It's been a while though,
yeah.
About 3 years I think. So we're excited to be here, and you got some crazy questions for us. I think we'll try and get some of them.
Yeah, we're going to play a little game, Would You Rather, during the 5 o'clock hour, and then of course find out more about you guys and the new CD and all that. So it should be a lot of fun.
Cool. All right. Well, looking forward to it.
Sweet.
Jeremy, what are you trying to do here? Take over Jonathan's job?
Yeah. Well, no, definitely not the job. I just want his computer. See, we're trying to send a note to our MySpace people to come hang out with us on air for an hour in Knoxville, but Jonathan's got some kind of work to do here that's really getting in my way.
As usual, you're looking for the first computer connection you can find.
Yeah, absolutely. Connecting with the World Wide Web.
Connecting with the fans is what you want.
The fans, yes.
You can probably get on there, too.
Jer, I think this is a first. I've gone online before Jeremy.
No! Crikey!
I win. Yeah, I'm not usually the guy to hunt out the computer in the
You just
locale.
sat down and it was there.
Well, actually, I opened it up. I moved some papers around. I actually went to the mattresses for this here, so I went the extra distance. Yeah. To use layman's terms.
Liberty 9.
Hi, am I live with down here?
They're right here. We got Glenn with you right now.
How's it going?
This is Kelsey.
Hey, Kelsey, how you doing?
Good, how are you? I can't believe I'm talking to you.
Where are you from? We're all here.
Oh, great. I'm from Virginia Beach.
Oh, wow, you're listening online then?
Yeah, I also heard about you guys from MySpace.
Ah, cool. Good thought, Jeremy.
Yeah, thanks for putting that vault in.
No problem. It's great that you're listening.
Yeah, hey, I love your new album.
Cool, thank you.
It's awesome. And wanted to let you know I'm praying for you guys and keep doing what you're doing.
Cool. Thank you very much, Kelsey.
Thanks, Kelsey. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, post a note on the MySpace site to let everybody know that you got to hear it.
Okay,
I think this conversation is being recorded as well.
Yeah, you're going to make our podcast even.
I think you're going to make the podcast.
Oh, really? I don't know what that means, but...
well, keep up with us in the news, and you'll see it on our main page there on the weekend.
Okay, awesome.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
See ya.
Bye.
9.1, your Christian hit source. That's Audio Adrenaline, and starting over, we have the guys of Down Here in studio. I have Glenn close to me.
You sure do.
Yeah, Glenn's hanging out, and we're going to play this game, Glenn. Would you rather? We'll start with you. You can read your first question. This is yours. You want to read your own question?
No, you read it to me.
All right, I'll read it to you. All right, Glenn, would you rather be able to turn into an animal of your choice at any time or control the weather?
Definitely an animal of any choice at my time.
Now, why is that?
Because I want to fly, man. Flying's cool.
So Glenn the bird.
Yeah, I'll be a hawk, so it's not like a chickadee or something.
Chickadee. I wouldn't take that.
I want talons, that's the thing.
Ah, yeah. All right, Mark, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Mark, would you rather be able to always see 15 minutes into your future or be able to always see 15 minutes into the past of everybody else?
Oh my God. I think I'd rather see my future because I don't know if I want to see what other people are doing.
That would be kind of scary.
Yeah, that would be a little scary.
Kind of scary. All right, Jason, we'll go on to you now. Would you rather, hang on a second, would you rather have everyone tell you exactly what they think of you or have everyone constantly hit you up for a loan?
Wow. I want everyone to know what they think of me all the time.
All the time?
Yeah.
All right.
Just lay it on.
Lay it on. Well,
I'm Canadian. We do that anyway.
All right, Jeremy, here we go. You're the last guy here.
Yeah, these are great questions. You just don't know what to expect.
Would you rather always have bad breath, for which there was no cure, or always be 100 pounds overweight?
That's hard. Oh, boy. Bad breath, man, because you can chew gum like crazy.
There you go. Okay, all right, we'll do that. Hey, we do have some CDs. Y'all want to take the first 5 callers?
Absolutely.
Let's do it. First 5 through to us this afternoon. You got the brand new Down Here CD, 342-5089. Go ahead and give us a call. We'll hook you up, 342-5089.
Phone light is blinking.
We are in an airport in Chicago, and we're on our way to Soul Fest to play a festival there in New Hampshire, and then we're heading to Spirit West Coast in California. But for now, we're stuck in a airport with a thunderstorm going on, and they're not letting us go anywhere. And Jason had the brilliant idea that we should do a podcast because we're not the only ones sitting here, are we?
It's there's sort of a pseudo community that goes on when you're in a band traveling because, especially at festivals, you're running into other bands, on the road, and we just happen to be. There's a couple other, bands around.
And you know what? One guy who's here, he used to do sound for us when we were on the Sonic Flood tour. Jeremy's got some ice cream now because we're going to be here a little while.
I was holding out, and then I think I'm getting kind of sick, so my throat was sore, and I was watching Glenn eat it earlier, and I thought that would really feel good on my throat. So seeing as we're hanging out here on the airport for who knows how long, this is some good ice cream.
And ice cream's good for sick people, mucous membrane stuff.
It is.
Absolutely.
It is nice on the throat.
Coats the throat.
This guy, by the way, is Ed, and I'm not going to try the last name.
Yeah, let me try. Yanishevsky.
Perfect. Very good.
He's good.
Very nice.
And Ed he was a front of house guy, which means he runs the sound and stuff. When we were on the Sonic Flood tour back in 2001 or 2? 2002, was
I don't
it
even
spring?
remember. All that time kind
We
of...
released in October of 2001, so
So
probably spring of 2002. Yeah.
So we thought we'd reminisce about the tour a little bit.
Let's.
Do you have any highlights from that tour that you can think
Well,
of?
I would say, of course, Down Here was a highlight.
Well, that's a good thing to say.
Yeah,
especially on a Down Here
Kind of a
podcast.
given, but
Right.
Do you remember near the end of the tour, a little idea that you suggested? I think it was actually to me.
Oh, the prank.
the prank.
You know, I have this. I actually have this prank on video.
You do?
I do. I'll have to find it.
Holy cow! We haven't seen that.
There's a one of the things Rick Heil, the lead singer of Sonic Flood, would do every night was he would share his story of Crohn's disease, and he would. You know, he was doing it.
Which is a sobering story. I mean, it's a serious story. It's not like a joking, haha, I have Crohn's disease kind of story. It's
right. And he's been through a lot of pain with it and still deals with it. And but he'd been doing it for a while, and those of us who worked for Sonic Flood we'd heard it a bunch of times.
Because we're listening to these stories as the band and crew every night.
Every night.
We get tired of them.
Yeah, we get tired of them. And I would think he would probably get tired of sharing it too.
Yeah, keep it fresh, right?
He would ask the audience if they had heard his Crohn's disease story before, and
every night he would ask that.
He would ask that every night, and people, you know, a few people would raise their hands, and then he would go into the story. And I just kind of wondered what it'd be like if everyone had indicated that they had heard it. So a suggestion was made to some people who were capable of pulling this off. And in between the transition between Jason Ingram and Down Here, the audience was kind of told about this situation, and they were asked if they would kind of play along with a little prank we wanted to play on Rick. So the audience agreed, and they were told that, you know, at the appropriate time, they were given instructions as to what to do. So later in the show, Sonic Flood is on stage, and it's probably about an hour later. I had actually forgotten about this. And Rick gets to that point, you know, in the set where he's starting to talk, and it quickly comes back to me, and I wonder if anybody's going to do this. So Rick gets out there, and he asks the audience if how many of you have heard my testimony. That's what he would always say. How many of you have heard my testimony?
And Chad,
the lighting guy, brought the house lights up.
Oh yeah, I forgot that.
Every hand in the house went up, and it was a pretty good crowd, probably about 2,000 people or so. Every hand went up.
He never really recovered.
Rick never really recovered. At one point, I've got it on videotape. He does a physical circle on stage, and he said later he thought that his, you know, somehow these people had heard his story, and the joke was he was kind of let in at that point, and it was kind of a tender moment too, a neat moment where he's like, well, I guess you've already heard it, and the audience on their own just kind of yelled back, no, we want to hear it, tell us, and that kind of thing, which was really beautiful because the audience really responded, and rather than their response just being raising their hand at the appropriate time to indicate, a few of them had heard it, the entire audience wanted to hear it at that point.
Right.
So, great.
So, yeah, that was it. That's Sonic Flood.
Frank Sell.
What are you doing now then, Ed?
I am currently out running monitors for Super Chick.
Okay, and they are here as well?
Yeah, they're here at the airport. We are all flying out to Soulfest.
Why don't we go introduce some of the Down Here listeners to Super Chick then?
Great.
Because I'm not sure they know who they are.
Right here we have Brandon Estelle.
Oh, hey.
Brandon, we're doing the Down Here podcast.
Oh, what band is this? Just joking.
You had a little trouble with our band name earlier, and
I totally forgot that I met him, and that's because I'm a jerk. I'm really mean, so...
We just thought it'd be good to introduce or remind our listeners who Super Chick is. So,
yeah,
what do you do?
Exactly. I play the drums for Super Chick.
Cool. And?
This is Dave Gazarian. Dave plays guitar.
I play guitar, whistle, play some piano. What is this? Where are people going to hear this?
The internet. Down Here podcast.
On the internet. Oh, nice.
My name is Matt Daly. I'm the stylist, and I play bass. We're in Chicago, Illinois, the Midway Airport, which is the quote-unquote the ghetto airport, but I still love it.
Is it really worth
Personally, it's my favorite airport in Chicago. My favorite Chicago airport.
Yeah,
It's right here.
Midway. I like Midway better than O'Hare. I don't know why.
West Airlines. That's why I like it better.
Yeah. And this is...
Hi, I'm Trisha. I sing in Super Chick. And I'm also stuck at the airport.
Tell us about Super Chick a little bit. For people who don't know anything about you, like your brief synopsis.
history?
Yeah, and we'll put a link so they'll get.
Well, we met on eharmony.com.
That's right.
Not really, that's Matt's answer, but I like to use it now. We actually, my sister and I are the singers. There are 4 guys, and Matt also sings and raps a bit. In the beginning, we had a DJ, Max, so that kind of added a different element than any other kind of girl bands, I guess, had, and he doesn't always travel with us now. But we formed by Melissa and I meeting Max and Dave from our band at an amusement park while they were playing a concert. And
what was that?
They were doing, it was Spirit Song at Kings Island. We live close to there, and so Melissa and I had gone for my 18th birthday. We got tickets, and we ran into this band called Church of Rhythm. So Max and Dave used to play in this band, and we ended up running into them after the show and just talking, and they said they were looking for girls to start this band called Super Chick. So it was kind of this little vision they had, and they wanted it to be all girls. But we didn't find girl musicians because it's a little bit rare. It seemed back then it was a little bit rare, or that they wanted to travel the world and make no money. So,
which is rare as well.
Which is what we all do.
Yeah, unless
we thought,
you're backpacking.
We thought we'd try it out, and so everybody in the band is original except our drummer, who's Brandon Estelle, and we've been together about 8 years.
And he's original in his own right.
He's very original.
Where are you guys from?
We have been based in Chicago, but we're all over the Midwest. Melissa and I are from Indiana.
Cool.
The boys grew up in like Ohio, Iowa, Illinois, so we're Midwest. And what else? We've been signed to In Pop Records, the Newsboys label, and we just signed to Columbia Records.
Nice.
So
That's great.
That's it in a nutshell.
And that school you guys played at in Saskatchewan is
I really didn't know you guys were Canadian.
Dude, we watched, as a kid, we rented Strange Brews so much, we were the only people at the video store that rented it for the last, like, 6 years, so they just gave us their VHS copy of it. They're like, dude, you spent probably like $200 renting this movie, just have it.
I remember you saying that.
Well, I should probably wrap this up.
Yeah.
But thanks, guys,
Thanks for hanging out, everybody.
Yeah. Appreciate talking and telling us about yourselves.
Down here, up in Canada.
Yes. Yes, you should.
You should go with Down Here, Up There.
Yeah.
I never heard that one.
So the plane is still not leaving. We will be here.
Red umbrella.
There you go. Red umbrella.
That's weird.
Really random.
Well, Glenn, thanks for involving me and letting me be a part.
Of course, man. It's good to see you guys again.
See you online.
All right. See ya.
Stuck in an airport together.
Tu me parles dans une entrevue sur le podcast. Nous ferons des vagues dans les airs. I want to talk to you on the podcast. I want to talk to you on the podcast.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Hello everybody, this is Alain, the French Canadian, coming to you live from the restaurant somewhere in Tennessee. I have people to ask questions and to interview for the asking of questions. So we will continue a bit later, thank you very much. So please, sir, if you could introduce yourself to the fans of the podcast.
My name is Jason Roy, and my name's Jason Roy.
Okay, well, also you do things that in rock and roll.
Yeah.
So tell them that listen about that.
I'm also known as the lead singer of Building 429, guitar player guy. That's me, something like that.
Well, that's him. He plays the guitar, and Jason are talking about guitars because Jason likes Jason's guitar, and I want you to figure out who is who. But it's hard because they got the same name. Okay. And you are eating something. Are you a professional eater?
Yes, I am.
Do you do other things on the side?
Other things, I ride tricycles.
Tricycles is a little bike with the three or four wheels.
It's three. It's three. What a race.
Three. You may be wondering why I talk like this. Because I'm French and I come from Canada. My name is Alain, the French Canadien. And for serious, you are Jason,
yes.
And you play something.
Yes, actually I have no idea what nationality I am. I am a mixed breed, and I sing and play guitar.
Okay, Jason, singer, play guitar. Welcome to the Downhere podcast.
Oh, sweet.
Yes, you did not know.
I made it.
You made it.
All right, I made the cut.
You will be on the website.
All right, what's the website?
It's the website of Downhere.
Downhere.com?
That's right.
All right.
Very good.
I've been there many times.
Do you have any question you would like me to ask you?
Question that. I don't.
Okay. Do you have any favorite things?
Favorite things. I think I like sweet tea. That's my favorite.
Oh, good. I think we have sweet tea coming soon to a theater near you. I think
we're losing it here.
I think I'm not a very good interviewer because I'm talking more than the interviewee. Well, it's okay. We have a very hardcore audience.
Oh, hardcore.
That's it for the podcast. Anything else, Glenn?
Who are you?
I'm Alain, the French Canadien.
Oh, I like you.
I want to talk to you on the podcast. Tu me parles dans une entrevue sur le podcast. Nous ferons des vagues dans les airs. I want to talk to you on the podcast. I want to talk to you on the podcast.
This is Alain, the French Canadien, doing the podcast again for Downhere. And I'm talking with one of the guys who is very important on the tour. He makes sure that everybody sounds very good. No, it's very good. Don't sell yourself short there.
Okay.
Okay, now what is your name, sir?
My name is Rafael Rivera.
Rafael Rivera. Now, okay, very interesting. Notice that does not sound very English. Where is that from?
Soy de Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. Hey, I have a question for you. Two names. You tell me what they have in common. Okay? One, Luis Rivera. Two, Will Cordero.
I have no idea.
No idea. You have no idea.
No, sir.
You are from Puerto Rico and you have no idea.
Luis Cordero, no sé quién es.
Do you have a guess?
No.
The answer that you are looking for, Luis Rivera, Will Cordero, both play for the Montreal Expos.
Expos, wow, sí.
Both from Puerto Rico.
Sí, muy bien. No sé quién es.
I don't understand.
Tampoco.
Dígame más. But you are good at baseball.
Un poquito.
Un poquito, ça veut dire un peu. I'm making sure that my French audience understand. It means just a little bit. I saw you play once, and I was very impressed.
I try to move along like my Puerto Rican friends and everybody in Puerto Rico. You know, we all throw ourselves all over the floor.
Okay.
The ball.
I saw that. Also, you don't live in Puerto Rico now, eh?
No. Yo vine de Puerto Rico when I was 2 years old. I came to America.
And where you live now?
In Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Okay.
I grew up in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Okay, Philadelphia. Are you in the Puerto Rican mafia?
I sometime used to be.
Yes, sometime used to be. Okay, I was just joking, but
How they say it? Yes.
Okay, I did not know that. Well, we don't want to go too far into that. Don't want to make you nervous. It's making me nervous, I'll tell you that. But hey, thank you very much, Ralph. For
Hey, just I just wanted to say that Jesus saved my life, and I don't kill anybody anymore. I walked away from all that.
that's a very good message. That I was going to ask you if there was nothing else you wanted to say, and you said it.
I did it.
You said it very well. Thank you for taking time for the podcast of Down Here. And now everybody in the world. It was a good pleasure. Me too. Okay. Later.
Adios.
Bye-bye.
I want to talk to you on the podcast. Tu me parles dans une entrevue sur le podcast. Nous ferons des vagues dans les airs. I want to talk to you on the podcast. I want to talk to you on the podcast.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Recording. Okay, today it's Alain, the French Canadian, the interviewing on the last day of the tour of Don't Conform, Bottle Girl, Matthew West down here. Actually, with me today is Matthew West. Matthew, we start with you saying your own name because people, they think I have an accent.
It's kind of thick. It's Matthew West.
Matthew.
Yes.
Say again.
Say, can you do this? Say Matt.
Matthew West. I got it.
Right.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. You have in Quebec, where I am from, you are a very big rock star. Your name is everywhere. Also, as you know, on the sign, a sign on the road, west. You know, the direction. In French, we don't spell W-E-S-T. It is O-U-E-S-T. O-U-S-T. It is pronounced Ouest. Ouest. But also people know you, eh?
Still me.
It's still you. Yeah. It doesn't change. Eh? Tell me why you picked the name Matthew West.
I didn't. Sometimes things just pick you, and I think that's been the name that picked me. A lot of people ask if I invented that as a stage name because it sounds so good. Like, ladies and gentlemen, Matthew West.
Yeah. Yes.
And I have to tell them that's my birth name, my mother, who I love dearly, and without her, I wouldn't be in this world.
Wow. So this name was yours from birth.
From birth.
Well, you're a lucky man to have a name, a good stage name for real, eh?
Yeah, I'm very pleased that worked out, because, if it had too many syllables, I might have wound up being a plumber.
Even the French can say Matthew West.
Yeah, the French can say a lot of things. Yes.
Okay, tell me, I've always wondered for a long time, why are you so much success in Quebec?
Well, I don't know, actually. I've never even been there before.
Well, because I know in the town of Abitibi-Témiscamingue, you have been number one on radio for the last 2 years.
2 years? That's amazing.
They play every single song, not even, they don't leave anything else. Everything, the whole album on the radio.
Well, I think I should maybe make a tour and make that a tour stop.
That would be good. You would have many people. The only thing, though, the one song they could not play on the radio. Next thing you know, it's very sad because I like this song very much, eh?
Yeah, well, I thank you. I really enjoy singing that. So why did they not want to play that one?
Oh, the reason is that there is a very famous commercial on TV for cigarettes. And the song they use for that is very, very similar to Next Thing You Know. The song is in French, but it goes, Next Thing You Know, I want another one. And then the thing is, and then the little boy, he comes on and he goes, can I have another one?
That's funny because that's what gave me the idea to write my song. And I can't believe it's a conflict. I'm sorry if they feel like I stole that, but...
Yeah, it's the association. They don't want to associate cigarette with Christian music.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I don't even know what you just said, but it sounds bad to associate.
Yes, well, just to say, down here, Bottle Girl, Matthew West, we do not support cigarette, and it's bad for you.
It's bad for you. And bad things happen from what word you just said.
And
Stay away.
Yeah, cigarettes.
Yes, very bad.
Cigarettes, that's what we're talking. Yeah.
I don't want another one of those.
No.
They make you cough.
Yeah, the smoking age in Quebec is very low, eh?
Is it really?
Oh yeah, the little kids, they go, hey, can I have another one?
It's a little kid that says that?
On the commercial, yeah.
That's wrong. And if I tour there, I will make a public statement and an apology that I sing their commercial.
We need to get that song of yours on the radio.
Yes.
So next question, Matthew West. Imagine yourself downtown Montreal.
Yes.
The big city in Quebec. You're standing on the corner of Rue Sainte-Catherine and Saint-Laurent with a megaphone and, of course, license for busking. Which of your songs, you have one song to sing, which one would you sing?
Whoa, I would probably sing a Down Here song because that would make them like me more because they're from that area.
Matthew West, that's too much, eh? That's too much.
Too much flattery?
Not too much.
But it's sincere. I'd probably get up and I'd sing at the top of my lungs. Whoa! And it was just like probably the whole crowd, everybody in the streets would probably stop and sing the response. You know, I'd sing the call over the megaphone, and they'd already know it because they're probably all huge Down Here fans.
I'll pass that on to my friends down here, and they will thank you very much for saying.
And then I surely wouldn't sing the song about the cigarette.
I hope so. I hope not. Eh? It's not good for you.
No, let's take it up a notch. Let's not promote.
So finally, thank you, Matthew West. Anything serious or not you would like to say to the fans of the Down Here podcast?
I'd just like to say to the fans of the Down Here podcast, it's been an honor and a privilege. And as I share these final words, there's actually a single tear. I'm starting to speak with a French accent. There's a single tear rolling down my cheek, and that tear symbolizes the love and affection that I feel.
Friendship,
but mostly affection.
Fiction.
This is not fiction, but this is real life. Love and appreciation for the band Down Here, for their music, for their manliness, and for this podcast. It's been an honor.
I can see why you are such a very great songwriter, singer-songwriter. Very, very good words to say to end the final podcast of the Don't Conform tour with Matthew West. Thank you, Matthew West.
Thank you. It's been great talking with you, and God bless your people.
I want to talk to you on the podcast. Tu me parles dans une entrevue sur le podcast. Nous ferons des vagues dans les airs. I want to talk to you on the podcast. I want to talk to you on the podcast.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Hello, everybody. Once again, it's Alain, the French Canadian, with the podcast of Down Here on the tour of Don't Conform. As promised, I interview the girls who are the number one on the tour. You are the number one on the tour. I don't care what they say. I like your show better than Down Here. Man, don't tell them that. It's secret. Okay. It's very secret. They might fire me. But anyways, first we start off Barlow. Can you pronounce it for me, please?
It's Barlow Girl.
Barlow. Barlow girl. You know, lots of people think that they say I have an accent, but I don't hear it.
I know.
I think it sounds the same.
Exactly.
Yeah. They say that when I speak English, that it's not good, and it pains my heart.
Yeah.
It's very painful.
I think it sounds nice.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay. I would like to introduce the girl one by one. You say your name and then you say your role in the band.
My name is Lauren and I am the drummer.
And you're the youngest.
I'm the baby of the family.
The baby, okay.
I'm Alyssa and I play keyboard and bass and I'm the middle child of the family.
Alisa.
Rebecca, guitar player and the oldest.
And also looking very beautiful. In Quebec, we say what we think, huh?
Oh, wow!
It's the truth. Anyways, so you. So hey, okay, interview now. So you have done on the tour. Don't Conform. It has been 2 months. You have graciously invited down here. How has that been?
It's been incredible. We've had such a good time on this tour. Down Here's awesome, and Matthew West is awesome as well. And we just have been having a great time.
Yeah, I've loved the crowds, and I don't know. Like I've loved the camaraderie too. Like with the band, it's been really nice for us. It's been very good.
Okay, they have a message for you, for me to say. I'm a bit nervous, eh?
Okay, don't be nervous.
The message from down here to Barlow Girl is, I don't know what it means, but we think you are the bomb because you remind us of our mothers.
Yeah.
I don't know what it means.
Well, I think they ripped off a song.
They did. Down Here is taking lyrics from a song that's already been written.
Yes.
So, from a band called Super Chick.
Yes. So.
Okay, I don't know. For me, you don't remind me of my mother. She a good singer, piano, but she's much older and.
Well, we're a lot older than what we look.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, that's nice. That's nice. But she's not a rock star, eh?
No.
So.
I don't think we are either. Are we rock stars? No. We do need money.
We do.
We can't live alone.
Hey, I heard that song. Oh man. Oh, speaking of songs, that was a song by Down Here, Baloney, I don't like it. Anyway, I've seen your show 20 times now at least. There is a song in the show, and I still don't quite understand. It's about dates. You don't like dates? What does that mean?
We can't get dates, so we just decided to write songs about it. No, we don't date. And I'm monopolizing this interview, so I'm able to talk about it.
No, you're not. It's good. Yeah, you know, it wasn't like we just woke up one day and said, you know, we don't like guys, you know, let's not date anybody. You know, it wasn't that at all. In fact, we thought that we were gonna date. In our family, we knew we were going to date because the age was 16 when we were allowed to date. And sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm a bit confused. In the Bible, I like dates. Even Jesus, he had dates.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Like in French, we call them des figues, sec, figs that are dry.
We're allergic to dating. So we write songs about being allergic. No. Different dating.
We're talking about
one-on-one
boy
and girl dates.
Yeah, not the food.
Yeah.
Not a food.
Right.
I'm so embarrassed.
That's okay.
Oh, I'm so embarrassed. I'm sorry. Oh man, it's a little bit of confusion.
No, it's good. You know what? Actually, that we get that question a lot in interviews. That actually happens a lot. So don't get mad about it at all.
Oh, my face is red now, man. Wow. Okay, but no, I respect that That's very good, very good. Okay, one more quick questions, one for each. Lauren, you say one interesting thing about your sister Alyssa.
Okay, so this is interesting. Lissa's always the first one in bed because she hates staying up late, and she always yells at me and our friend Becca Hart every night because we're up late.
No, I think the most interesting thing about Alyssa is she plays bass and keyboard at the same time.
Oh, I am jealous. I am jealous. Hey.
Am I your favorite sister now? Come on. Yeah, right now.
Okay, Alyssa, one interesting thing about Rebecca.
One interesting thing about Becca. Becca is the kind of person that can pretty much do anything she puts her hands to. She's very much of a hands-on learner. And it's cool. Like, if Becca wanted to learn how to play saxophone, when we were younger. Well, okay, maybe not the saxophone or the guitar.
That's terrible.
Or the harmonica.
She can't play
or the accordion.
Wow.
But no, but really anything Becca would be like, yeah, I want to try this. Like nothing intimidates Becca too much that she's not willing to try out.
Very impressive. Very. Becca.
Something interesting.
Wow.
Loves dolphins.
That's not interesting.
I didn't think this was going to be a difficult question.
I'm going to share it. Lauren has a bald spot on the side of her head. That looks like a gunshot wound.
You want to see
it's pretty interesting.
Is it from an operation or?
Oh, here it comes. I'll show you. Look.
I've never been able to grow hair.
Hey, that's interesting. I did not know that.
No, see,
she does a pretty good job to hide it.
That's how interesting I get. That's awesome.
It's good that you're not embarrassed about that. That's a very good example for your girls, for your audience.
Yeah, I've had to embrace that giant bald spot inside of my head. It's a good ministering tool. It is.
Excellent, excellent. One thing that you would like to say as a band for the fans of the Downhere podcast.
Ooh,
keep listening.
Anything.
We do.
The wide-eyed and mystified.
Oh yeah, it could be something serious, whatever. Or you can say to.
That was serious.
Okay.
Because we did. We listened to these.
We actually bought it.
Yeah.
And something serious too, I would say, just for the fans, something that we've really learned on this tour is these guys have a lot of integrity, and I think that is something that is amazing. And so. Yeah.
I will pass that along to them. That was very, very nice. You are lovely. Thank you for taking the time for us. I'm going to go see the Downhere set in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Thank you, Barlow girl. You have been wonderful.
Thank you very much. You've been wonderful too.
Okay.
I want to talk to you on the podcast. Tu me parles dans une entrevue sur le podcast. Nous ferons des vagues dans les airs. I want to talk to you on the podcast. I want to talk to you on the podcast.
Okay, it's Alain, the French Canadien, here on the cruise ship in the Caribbean cruise avec sorry, I'm getting into my French already. The cruise Come Alive, Downhere, many other artists. With me tonight, Rebecca St. Jane. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Rebecca, tell me about yourself.
Okay, my name's Rebecca. I sing. I'm 29 years old.
Yes.
I'm the oldest of 7 children, and I'm originally from Australia.
Australia?
Yeah.
Other side of the world.
Yes, that's right.
Hey, they speak Chinese.
We do have a lot of Chinese in Australia, but no, we speak English.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
How do you feel about turning 30?
Not very good. Not very good at all.
Not very good?
Yeah.
Your answers are very short, huh? For making good interview, it's good to elaborate. But anyways, that's good enough. I'm sorry, I'm not very well prepared for the interview.
I see that.
So, what? Okay, so we are cruising in the Caribbean. What is a good thing you have done?
A good thing I've done. Well, today I got to go snorkeling, which I love. And
snorkel? What is snorkel?
It's where you put a mask on your face and you put a breathing device in your mouth so that you can get air, but you can still have your face down looking at the fish underneath the water. But I actually cheated today. I just used goggles. Like,
you were not scared?
I wasn't scared, no. I like the ocean because I grew up in Australia, and Australians live right by the ocean, and we love it. And
oh, you have ocean in Australia?
Yes, yes, we do. And but I must say that the ocean that I saw today, even though it was very beautiful and blue, and the coral didn't quite compare to the coral reef in Australia.
It was very bad coral.
Well, yeah, compared to Australian coral, yeah, but I don't think you really have coral in Quebec, so how would you know?
Oh, you got me. I was joking. I know what coral. I know what snorkel. I went snorkel today as well, and I got cut. I got cut on my hand and other place. But and it's okay. Thank you. I thank you for your concern.
Yeah.
Tell me one bad thing that you have done on the cruise.
One bad thing. I have had probably too many desserts. Like, usually I don't have dessert, period, just about. Maybe just on holidays or special occasions. And I think I've had at least, a dessert every day.
Dessert? You like dessert, huh?
Yes.
Me too. Me too. Hey, for everybody listening, Rebecca St. James and me, we have something in common. We like dessert.
I think we bonded for life just now.
Very exciting. Anyways, signing off. Thank you, Rebecca, for interviewing me. Anyway.
I think you interviewed me.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm very nervous.
It's okay.
I'm not good with interviewing girls.
Okay. Well, thank you for interviewing me despite the fact that you don't feel that you're very good at interviewing girls.
Do you like Downhere?
Oh, I think they're amazing.
Yes, I think they're very good. They like Rebecca St. James.
Really? Good. Well, I think I like them even more now.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you. You're very sweet, very nice. Okay, bye-bye. See you later.
Bye.
I want to talk to you on the podcast. I want to talk to you on the podcast.
Welcome to the Downhere podcast. We are in, where are we, guys? Newton, Aycliffe? Woodham, sorry. We're in England anyway. And you can hear sound check going on behind me. We thought it would be cool to give you guys a song live.
Well, it's not here.
Kind of live.
I'm not sure where it is.
Yeah, you can hear Jason talking there. But we'll give you a song, and that'll be it. So you'll have a bit of sound check and a song from today, and we'll hopefully have a video up for you soon from this tour. So yeah, enjoy. Thanks for listening. See ya.
Good, right? Yeah. I'm good. I'm okay for snare.
Just a hair less for me.
That's kind of strange. Hey, there we go. I could use just a hair more hi-hat. There we go.
A little more hi-hat for the Martel.
Can I have I'm not
hear more of Mark's vocal form. Sing, Mark. Sing, Mark.
Just a tiny hair more of my guitar.
Hey, Mark, can you sing for a second?
And I love you.
Probably good.
Well, this is a brand new song from our new album, Wide-Eyed and Mystified. It's a song for the church. If you're a part of the Church of Jesus Christ tonight, make some noise. Well, alrighty then. I'm surrounded by brothers and sisters. Here we go. It's called Stir. You belong here. Everyone's invited. We can't fail here, 'cause we can't fail united. It's safe to be yourself here, and it's time to go beyond here. Here we go. We've got life to give, so why don't we do what we were saved for? Come along, why don't we stir? You know you and I could do so much more together. We are the new at heart, so why don't we stir? Oh, stir. Yeah, we are strong here. Weakness is for certain. To show our love here, you know, we share each other's burdens, and we don't mind, 'cause there is nothing left to fear. And love divine is calling us out from here. We've got life to give, so why don't we do what we were saved for? Come along, why don't we stir? You know you and I could do so much more together. We are the new at heart, so why don't we stir? Oh, stir. Yeah, stir. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We are something lighting. We refresh like raining. We are love remaining. We've got
Life to give, so why don't we do what we were saved for? Come along, why don't we stir?
We've got life to give, so why don't we do what we were saved for? Come along, why don't we stir? You know you and I could do so